So which was your favorite Deadpool, 1 or 2?
2 probably.
2? That's a wild take. That's a wild take.
Usually I don't like number 2s. As far as like
sequels?
Sequels? Yeah, usually the one's always like the best. Like as crazy and good.
Did you start it?
Yeah, man, we just get this going, bro. You didn't learn from the last one. We just get this rolling. I have to close the door though.
This thing is so close. Like I feel like I'm gonna hit it. So I gotta can the camera catch me here?
Can the what?
Does it catch me here?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. I realized watching the last one that I was sitting back a lot, and it still got me.
Yeah, it got you. I didn't even notice.
So I kind of lined it up. I used that wall as a reference.
Okay.
So it's lined up pretty well. So even if you move around a little bit, you're still in shot. Oh, okay. I didn't want anybody to because Sam moves a lot. I didn't want her to lean back.
No. Sam the whole time was banging on the thing. You heard every single bang. That's why I was like, I'm gonna sit like this on podcast. Yeah,
but yeah, no, I really liked number 2 of Deadpool.
That's
I like the introduction of the more characters. They did it properly. When X-Force died, I don't think I laughed harder in a movie.
Dude, that was so funny.
I laughed so hard.
No, this guy was like that old guy? Not the old guy, the middle-aged guy.
What was his name? Ted or something. They gave him Phil or something. He was just a regular guy.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think he died though, did he?
Oh no, he did. He did die. He went to go save the guy who spits acid because he landed in the wood chipper. And as he's trying to pull him out, he spits acid on him and his arms melt off or something. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I laughed so hard.
I thought they were just cracking Thanos jokes to him the whole time. That was funny.
And then the time scene at the end where he goes back in time and starts killing everybody, and he kills himself in the X-Men movie or in the Wolverine movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I think he kills his self, the actor.
Yeah.
When he was reading at the Green Lantern script or something.
The Green Lantern.
No, that's good. Yeah, I'm really excited. Did you see the photos?
No. What photos?
Bro, Wolverine's full yellow and blue.
Ooh.
So it looks good.
When's that coming out? Is there a release date?
I think next year sometime.
Next year?
Yeah, I think next year. Because they're still filming.
Yeah. Are they? Well, I don't know. Yeah. No, because, they're on a strike. Everybody's on strike in that. That's wild. So, are the writers on strike or the actors on strike? I heard the writers
I think it's the writers on strike.
So it's these actors got money, they got fame. What they striking about? Crazy.
It's getting weird now. But I kind of like it because now you're getting into movies that are getting... you can make a movie and be high quality. Don't need a big budget either. And that's there's some new horror movie. I think it's out of Australia, Take My Hand or something like that. And the people that produced
What's that one about?
They have this weird hand and you touch it and you go into the other
Oh, that's a low budget movie?
Well, that wasn't low budget, but apparently the people that produced that, they started by making horror low budget YouTube videos.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look into it. That's just I read that somewhere.
I saw the movie on I think in a trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch and I was like, it's all right. I mean, I'm not a fan.
You don't do the horror movies?
No, I do horror movies. I just don't do horror or anything else. So horror video games or
okay. Yeah,
I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not looking forward to it.
But you chose to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been. This is my
it's low key. It's low key scary. It's not really that bad.
It's a bunch of jump scares, and I hate jump scares. Because it's like Fright Night's here. You go through a maze or whatever, some room, and then something jumps at you or tries to scare you.
You know what I think? I think the lines are too long.
Oh,
to the
lines
point
are crazy.
To the point you can't keep the fear level up or your anxiety level. You're
just waiting in line the whole time.
Yeah, because if I go through a haunted house, or whatever, there I go through and it probably takes me 20 minutes maybe for a big one to walk through. No, if that, right?
It's probably 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's probably 10.
So 10 minutes, but I just spent
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half in line. And now, like, I'm all amped up, but nothing's going to scare me for another hour because I got to hop in another line.
Facts.
Like, I remember, so I went once, and after the first haunted house and how long that line was, I was like, we're not getting in another line until I get food. So I literally I got
like... You didn't eat before?
I thought, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been. I had never been to Universal. The first time I went to Universal was going to Halloween Horror
That's
Nights.
wild.
So I was like, fuck this, I'm getting food. So I went and got a turkey leg, and I got like some alcoholic fruity drink.
A turkey leg?
I got a whole turkey leg.
That's crazy.
And a whole alcoholic fruity drink like this big. And I was like, all right, I was with two people. I was like, all right, let's go back in line.
They let you bring that in line?
Yeah, no stopping.
Alright. I don't know. I can't remember now if they let you bring food in the line.
I finished that turkey leg and the drink before I even got close to the front.
100%.
So
you're wild. The whole turkey
leg.
Yo, that turkey legs be crazy.
So good though.
And they're like $10.
So good.
Man.
I don't even remember how much. I think the total was like $15.
That's wild. How long ago?
This was a while ago.
Oh, yeah,
it was like over 10 years ago, I think.
That must have been wild.
Yeah. So this is a dumb thing, and this pissed me off because I'm going to tell you what happened after this. So I go to pay for my stuff.
Yeah.
And my card declines. And I'm like, this is dumb. Like, what do you mean? It's the middle of the night. Like, Wells isn't gonna, the bank's not gonna.
They ain't calling you. You can't call them.
Right. So my friends, they paid for my food. I was like, we'll figure out in the morning.
Yeah.
So I call in the morning, and I was like, hey, my card was declined. Like, I was just at an amusement park. Like, is there anything going on?
What's up?
This lady goes, oh, okay, no problem. Oh, I see you've been traveling. That's why they put a hold on your card. I'm like, traveling? I'm 3 hours from my house.
Yeah, that's traveling.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Technically, you going to the store, you're traveling.
Whatever. So I'm like, well, it's me. I just went to an amusement park a few hours from my house.
They said you broke.
They're like, nah. A couple months later, I get wild charges on my card.
That's crazy.
Someone in the UK bought textbooks for college.
Dang.
And I'm like, you didn't flag that though.
They didn't flag that?
That went through.
They say you traveled. They said
I'm traveling. Like, oh, he's traveling. All right,
traveling
back. UK? I mean, he was just in Orlando. Yeah, he might as well.
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, I didn't go from Halloween Horror Nights and go study at Oxford. Like, that's not what was happening. It was so annoying.
And textbooks ain't cheap, so that...
They're not, bro. They racked up like 3 textbooks on my thing. 100%. I was mad.
My friend, she's in grad school now. She's like, I just had to pay $600 for textbooks, and I still got like 2 classes left to pay for it. I was like, that's crazy.
I forgot what website I used in college, but I used to try to get them like low-key, like secondhand.
Oh, yeah.
And like used, and then I'd immediately sell them back, if I even needed it. Like even the classes that would be like, you need the textbook, I would wait. I'd go in the class and be like, yo, do I really need it?
So some dude like, because now if you like, you can get the textbook online.
Right.
And you can get a 2-week like free access pass. It's like, I don't know if like you need like financial help or whatever. This one dude in this one class, like it was psychology.
Okay.
It was like intro to psych or whatever. He did all the homework for the whole semester in those 2 weeks. He's like, I ain't paying for a textbook. I was like, you're wild. This includes like 3 essays of 1,000 words each. Wild.
Hey, if you can knock it out, knock it out.
I was like, yo, fair play to you. Now you just gotta show up to class. You can't be absent. You just show up.
There was one project, I didn't even procrastinate. I just didn't understand how much work it was. For some biology class.
I hated biology.
And they were like, hey, you do need to, I think it was like 50 different animals.
Uh-huh.
And I think you can only do X amount of animals per like, whatever it's called, like group of animals. Like I can only do so many. I can't just I couldn't do like tigers, lions, cheetahs, like, and keep going.
They're all the same.
Right. I could do like 2 of about like the same type of animal, right? Yeah. But the catch was you had to go take physical pictures.
Okay.
So
what do you mean go take physical?
Yeah.
I gotta go to Safari.
Well, that's what I did. Me and my boy had this class, so I was like, yo, meet me at Palm Beach Zoo. We'll just roll through, take pictures of every animal. And you had to type up a thing about it. I'm like, easy. It's a zoo. Every animal has a little thing about the animals right there.
Yeah.
Like, I can just take a picture of that, or
Thanks.
if I know about the animal, just type a little thing. Bro, setting up a whole binder of that
of 50 different animals.
Yeah,
so it's
and making it
basically
presentable.
just a zoo in a binder. That's
Yeah,
literally it.
And there was obviously some details that had to go with it that like you actually had to research, but
Yeah, I'm sure in the project, whatever.
But I just didn't understand how long it would take.
Was this like all semester? You had like all semester to take this?
No, we didn't. He told us about it, but he was just like, "I'll give you like more details, and actually assign it at a certain date." It was like our final project.
That's wild.
I did not sleep the night before it was due.
I bet,
bro. I literally got off work because I was working full time at the shoe store.
Yeah.
Got off work, started on the project. Like, I had already started a little bit, but like really buckled down on it. And I'm just doing another one after another. Walking out. I was in the dorm, so I'd walk down to the thing and get a Red Bull or something. I was chugging Red Bulls. I hate Red Bull. But I was chugging
you
Red
were
Bulls.
living in the dorm?
I was in the dorms, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was chugging Red Bull. And
how is that?
I literally stayed over. It was okay for me. So my experience was a little bit different. I was a little bit older when I started college.
Okay.
So they didn't just put me with all the freshmen.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I ended up in, I don't think it's there anymore, but it was essentially the athlete dorm at FAU.
Because you were on a scholarship, right?
I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I tried doing the walk-on thing.
Uh-huh.
After I got there.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't go on scholarship.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was cool for me because I worked like, I don't know, like 5 miles away.
Yeah.
So I would just go back and forth, and then campus was right there. Like, I lived on campus, and then I would just go to work, come back.
Just at the mall next to the place?
Yeah.
Oh, it's that close, the mall?
Yeah. Do you know where Boca Mall is?
Yeah.
Like Boca Town Center Mall? It's right there. And
Wow.
You literally hop over 95. It's right there.
True.
So.
That's wild.
Yeah, I would just go back and forth. It was super easy because our schedule sucked during like winter break and or spring break too.
Yeah.
But especially winter break, like I was a manager, so we were expected to be there like all the time and all day. So even though there was no classes, like it was nice to like not have to drive from my house in West Palm.
Oh, you just stayed on the dorm?
I just stayed on campus.
Yeah,
they were
expensive?
open. It was pretty expensive, to be honest. What made it really, really expensive is that they require you to get a meal plan. Which is basically, yeah.
Do that, yeah.
So I had to get the meal plan. I picked the one because of my schedule. I picked the one that had the most like owl bucks, so I could just like money on your car that you could use wherever on campus at the little shops and stuff. Because of my schedule, I almost never ate in the caf. There was one day where I would go after class with a couple people. That was like my full school day where I was always off from work that day, and I just loaded up my schedule. Mm-hmm. So that day in between classes, I would go with a couple people to the caf. Yeah. But other than that, like I usually made my classes so early that some days I would get like 2 classes in and then go to work. So I don't have time to stop at the caf.
What time would you go and work?
If you opened, you had to be there like 9:30.
You can do 2 classes.
Bro, I did the rookie mistake or freshman mistake, I should say, of like getting a bunch of 7 a.m. classes.
Oh, okay. Your classes. Our earliest class in the college I'm in is 8. That is the absolute.
I took an English class at 7 a.m. I think one day I had the English class. I think it was twice a week, and I had another day where it was English and then something else. And then that ended at like 9, and I would just run to my dorm, change, and just hop over 95 and go to work. And I'd be at work pretty much the rest of the day. Yeah. So by the time I got back, the caf was closed most days. Yeah. So the only time I really, really ate there regularly was during finals, because I would just take off work.
Oh, you just wouldn't work all finals week?
Yeah, for the most part. And then your finals are kind of like scattered all over the place throughout the day. So I would have time to like go get breakfast and then hit the final, go hit lunch, and then go to another final or whatever. So that was like the only time I actually ate there. It kind of sucked. That's what made it so expensive, because I was required to get a meal plan.
And now you're required to have insurance as well. Like if not your own, through them.
Like renter's insurance?
No, like health insurance.
Oh, health insurance.
Yeah.
I wonder if that might have been a thing. I mean, I was younger, so I was still on my family's insurance, like my mother's insurance at that time. I'm pretty sure. I know you had to have like, if you were living on dorms, you had to have like shots and stuff. Like your stuff need to be up to date.
Obviously, them kids be wild.
When
I was in Idaho, like the dorm, I don't know if I wouldn't call it dorms because you're like, the campus, it was like on a hill. The campus was like at the hilltop and everyone was like around the campus. So it's like, if I wanted to visit you, I have to walk to you. I wouldn't be like passing rooms. I don't know. And it's just a building, and in the building, it's like apartments where you're like, so I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. We had a bunch of stuff on campus because the FAU was a military base.
It was?
It was a military
What?
base. Yeah, like a long time ago. So the first dorms that were still being used when I was going there were like old barracks.
That's crazy.
They were trash. I never went in there, but I was told they were trash. Like gross, moldy.
That's crazy.
There's a whole like, if you walk down the breezeway, you can kind of see where you can like go underneath the school because there's like tunnels and stuff, but it's all locked off.
I'm breaking in next year.
You breaking in? Good luck.
I'm breaking in the tunnels.
So they had that, and then on the back side of campus, they had like on-campus student apartments. So if you had been there for a couple years and you didn't want to necessarily live in the dorms, but you wanted to live on campus, it was set up like kind of like a small townhouse. Those were okay. I didn't live there. I hung out there a lot, but I didn't live there.
It was kind of like, like in the school we went to, because it was like most of the years with that, and then you had like couple rooms. Like the only way you can live there is if you're married.
That's crazy. There was a couple people, but they were like RAs, and like I know they were like married, or like there was one lady that had like a kid, but she wasn't in the building. She was like in a separate thing, and it was a little weird, but
because the school I went to in Idaho, people be getting married crazy. BYU,
you get the urge, dog. It's the only way to get around the urge.
You said the urge.
We were like, listen, annulment's, it's just a little thing.
It was one class that I was in, I forget what class. It was like, they were not my group, because we had some group project, I can't remember. The group next to us, they're trying to like plan when to meet up. And they're like, oh no, I got a wedding this week. I got to go to a wedding, but I got to go to a wedding. This one person had to go to like 3 weddings in one weekend. I was like, y'all wild. That's crazy.
Listen, that's a young age to be getting wild. Like, get married and you're just...
I mean, it's all right. I don't know. I have a different view, obviously, because I grew up doing it.
But, I mean, I grew up Hispanic. I mean, everybody got married young because they had kids young, so...
I mean, you just have the kid young, and then you get married later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what it is?
That's what it is, man.
It is what it is.
Alright, so... What other wildness happened? What else is associated with this?
With what?
You know what? With BYU.
I'll not get it.
No, not to anything else. There's got to be something else.
What you mean?
What would throw me off?
Like there? Like what happened there? Nothing. It was a normal... Well, I wouldn't say normal. Because I had you... It's a private school, right? Okay. So they can set whatever rules. It's like... The Christian school in like downtown.
Yeah, my brother went there.
Yeah, like how you're required to go to mass or whatever it is. It's like you're required to take a religious class.
Okay.
There, so that's that. But other than that, it was pretty normal.
Do you ever hear like? I guess you would hear this through the kid.
But
But do you ever hear like? I guess when you would be in like high school or like younger friends, like they tell their parents like, hey. Your parents always ask, like, what are you doing after high school, right? If one of your boys was like, yeah, I'm going to BYU, like, are the parents like, we know what goes on there, and they're like, yo, you can go somewhere else? Or
they want you to go to BYU.
But they know, like, the wildness that exists.
I don't think they do.
There's no way.
I don't think they do.
There's no way.
I didn't know what it was until you told me.
That's true.
Until you asked me.
But your friends knew.
Yeah, but they live in Utah.
Okay.
It might be different with them because they live there and maybe the parents know. But like I had no clue. Like I know here like the parents would rather have you go there because I guess in your eyes it's a more
Even they know
like
the kids are
school.
wilding out.
I don't think they think kids are wilding out like that.
There's no way.
I don't know. That's the way I see it because I knew my parents would rather have me go to BYU than like FAU, UF, FSU.
Solely because it's like more of a
yeah,
Mormon driven.
yeah, exactly. That's what I think, but.
Because I know, like, it happens with normal schools. Like, you tell your parents, like, yo, I'm going to FSU. But if you don't have a particular reason to go there, like, yo, you're trying to party.
I mean, not anymore. FSU crazy.
Well, when I grew
Yeah.
up, I don't know how it is now.
No,
but
FSU is
when I was
super hard
younger,
to get into.
is it?
And
I mean, it was always a
UF,
good school, but it was
Yeah.
always known as a party school.
UF
sure.
was considered a party school for a long time. Now they cracked down on that. Every university is going to have parties and stuff like that. There was no way you can escape a bunch
Oh, yeah,
of
for sure.
19-year-olds.
Shit, I was throwing them for a while.
Drinking. You're a what?
We were throwing them for a while.
Oh, throwing the party.
Yeah. No, so the dorm situation. So this is what happened. I think I was in the dorm. I was only in the dorm 1 year. 1 year in the summer. So they built a new dorm for incoming freshmen only.
Okay. Because FAU does have a thing where like if you're going there as a freshman and if you don't live within a certain place, you have to live in the dorm.
Right.
Yeah.
So they built a brand new dorm tower. It was for incoming freshmen only. The way they did who was going where, like it was a lottery system basically. Even if you were in the dorms, it didn't matter.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, continue on listening.
It's wild. It's wild from this angle.
What do you got?
So it was a lottery system.
What you mean a lottery?
Like a lottery system, and they started with like freshmen that were already there, like newer students.
Okay.
And they went like towards like students that had been there longer. To I guess basically who gets to stay in the dorms. I think they got halfway to my number before everything was filled, like all dorms.
Okay.
So I was literally like essentially kicked out.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, what if like I'm living in a dorm one semester, the next is like, well.
Yeah, that's literally
That's
what it was. So I went and found off-campus student housing. So basically, it was a neighborhood that you had to be a student somewhere to live there.
Okay.
Right behind the school, so it worked for me. No more meal plan, so I actually saved money.
Oh, 100%.
Because I was having to buy groceries, even though I was in the dorm.
What?
Because
because you couldn't go. Yeah.
I couldn't go to the caf because
Yeah,
it was
that makes
closed by the
sense.
time I got home from work, and I usually either went to class or went to work before it was even open.
That's true.
So I had my like little Jimmy Dean stuff. I had a rice cooker in there.
That's good.
I had a rice cooker, like a little mini rice cooker, and my grandmother.
How are the dorms set up?
They're all
Something out of a
different.
dorm.
They're all different. So mine was, like I said, I was a little bit older.
Is
so
it the size of this room?
my room itself probably a little bit smaller.
Oh,
But I had my
you had
own
like an
room.
apartment.
I had my own room.
Oh, okay.
So most people are 2 people to a room, and it's super tiny. Like it's super.
Yeah,
crazy.
I just think I think it's like super narrow, and it's like you're on this end, I'm on this end, and it's just
That's
narrow.
most dorms.
That's what I think of a dorm.
I got into a different dorm that most freshmen didn't get into. So it was 4 people. So you walk in and there's like a little living room.
Yeah.
And then there's 4 doors and each one's a bedroom.
Oh, so each person gets their own room. That's nice.
Yeah. And then there's 1 shower.
Yeah.
/ bathroom, which
And
like
1 kitchen.
walls. No kitchen.
Oh, no kitchen.
No kitchen.
Oh.
So we had a kitchen downstairs. It was like an NPR.
Yeah.
There was a kitchen in there, but I mean, no one really used it. Every now and again, like if you were chilling with a bunch of people, you'd go down and use it and make like wings or something.
Yeah.
I think there was a TV and shit in there, but no one had their own room. But yeah, when I got to this place, super nice, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it was like luxury condos that they stopped construction because of the recession. They had only built the models. So those 4 units that were super nice, 4 condos, super nice. And then
So this whole building is just 4 condos.
initially. So they built the models, and they still had the property. But they didn't continue building because no one was buying them because the recession hit.
Yeah.
So someone bought the property. They basically kept the same floor plan, but it wasn't as nice. So like just regular counters, regular flooring, stuff like that. Meanwhile, the one we were in, we ended up in the models that were completely ready to go. We had granite countertops. One of the like master bathroom had like a jacuzzi tub and a shower, two car garage. It was huge.
Yeah.
So anyways, so we sign up. Those are more expensive, so I guess no one. They were trying to rent those to kids, but obviously it's more expensive. Kids aren't going to take that.
College students ain't gonna pay for that.
So just by chance, they filled up, and me and two other guys were some of the first ones to sign a lease. So they were just like, "Hey, we're going to upgrade you for free."
That's what's up.
So I was like, "All right, that works." Didn't know these guys. Never met them.
The other dudes in
the other two guys never met them. They just put us in there because we just happened to be the first three guys to sign up. I think, the other 3 condos attached to our thing was all females.
That's what's up.
We're like best of friends. Like I still talk to them almost every day.
Oh, was one of them the one that showed up today?
No. That's Jeff. So he knows them too. That's funny enough. He knew both of them, which was cool. Okay. He was over the house all the time. No, I met him before I even went to school.
Oh, okay. It's crazy because like roommates, you either like super cool with them or you absolutely hate each other.
Right.
Like there's
like in
no
the dorms.
in between. Like when I went, I was only there one semester, and I had I was set up. You walked in, it was like a living room. You had a kitchen, you had a bathroom, and you had 2 rooms. So it was 4-person apartment, I guess, but you shared a room. Like 2 people shared a room. And stuff like that. The person I was supposed to share a room with, I guess didn't show up for the semester. So I just had an empty room. It was late. But like the other 2 people that was in the apartment were also like they were there. They were cool. I never really talked to them. Like it was always like if I'm there, they're usually not there. Or if they're there, I'm not. So
yeah, in the dorms it kind of sucked. The guy right next to me was cool. There was 2 other guys. One was really quiet. And the other guy never showed up. So they shoved somebody else in there. Like, because they got to fill the room.
Yeah.
That guy was a fucking tool bag.
Yeah.
100%. Like, he was always leaving. No one ever used the common area. Like, it was a couch and a chair. There's nothing fun there. Like, dude, just go to your room. He was like, he would leave it a wreck out of nowhere. I don't know what he was doing in the bathroom.
Do you have clean checks?
Not, like, crazy. Every once in a while, the RAs are going to come through and do checks, but if it's that messed up, they'll say something. But like, I didn't want more attention than I needed. So if it was a little messed up, I'd clean it. But like he was just a messy person. Like if you went to the bathroom after him, because it's one big bathroom, and it's just like essentially a shower room with a sink and a toilet, but it's one big shower room. But it has a curtain. My dog definitely never used the curtain.
That's wild.
Dude, the whole shower, the whole bathroom would be soaked when he got out. And I was like, are you splashing around in here, bro? Like, what are you doing?
It's playing in the water.
It was crazy.
That's wild.
He eventually, like, just dipped out. I don't remember what sport he was in, but I remember him telling me he was in a sport, and then he got tired of it and, like, said, forget it. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I don't need this scholarship. But then he stopped showing up to school, so maybe he did need it.
I mean, the way where that school is, you got some money there. And I think, like, the school is used to that. Because my friend, she graduated with a nursing degree there.
Oh, yeah?
And they're like, that nursing college, they make your schedule. Like, every semester, like, you don't get to pick what classes, what times. They're like, here's your schedule. Like, you figure it out. Like, with your life. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Personally. And then, like, they told her when she came in that you can't work because it's too demanding or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, how am I going to pay for this school? Like, I didn't get a scholarship. I don't have money like that.
Palm Beach State told me that once when I was trying to do,
where you can't work? That's wild.
They didn't tell me I couldn't work, but they told me the program was too demanding and I couldn't finish out my degree, like that couple remedial classes I needed.
That you
Dude,
Bro, do them.
It's so unmotivating to do it because they're not part. They have nothing to do with my degree. It's like a math class and stuff.
Yeah, but math, intro to literature. We're trying to get an engineering degree. Like, get out of here.
That's fair. But yeah, I'm just so. But I was like, hey, I'll knock out these 3 classes and just start me in the program. And they're like, it's kind of a lot, and I'm like, I'm a grown man. Like, I can take care of it. And they're like, yeah, we used to let people do it, and then they would get overwhelmed, so we don't anymore. I'm like, okay, so I can't do it. You're telling me I can't. All right. So that was that.
That sucks.
It was annoying, but yeah, I mean, it gets like that though. I remember when I got into when I was just in my core classes for criminal justice, the main classes, it started going later and later. And I remember in the day, and I had no choice about it. Like when you start, you can kind of pick your classes and all right, I'm free that time. I can go then. I can pick that class because it works. Nah, man, I was going later and later into the day, and next thing I know, I'm taking a 3-hour night class, and I'm just like, I just got off work. I don't want to do that.
That's gonna be me next month. I have a class at 6:30, and it ends at 9:30. I was like, this is wild.
That's a lot. It's just sitting there, and sometimes they'll give you a 15-minute break, but it's I'm here for 3 hours, bro. I'm hungry. You can wrap this thing up, man.
You gotta bring some food.
We're here all semester. I feel like it doesn't need.
Beans, my guy.
I was in there cooking. I was in the dorms cooking.
Were you?
Yeah, I really was.
Cooking what?
Dude, rice almost every day. Heating them the beans in the microwave. Because I go get beans when I would come. When I drive up to West Palm to see my family, once a week, get a haircut and see my family, I would, my grandmother would always give me food.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'd always have a big thing.
Do you have a microwave in your dorm?
Oh, yeah. The only thing you can't have in there is a hot plate.
But rice cooker's fine.
I don't know if it was fine. But I know I needed my arroz and frijoles, so I was bringing it in there. I had a toaster oven, which helped a lot. Because you can do a lot more with a toaster oven.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Essentially, you can bake some stuff in there. You can get some cookies going and shit.
Yeah, you definitely.
It's solid.
Have you had cake in a cup? Cake you throw in the microwave or brownies?
I had a protein one. That was pretty solid.
They're actually pretty good.
They're not bad.
All you gotta do is throw some little milk. You throw it in the microwave.
But you can make them from scratch like that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You just got to get the mixture right. But yeah, you can technically get it. From scratch.
Just buy, because I lived in a place where all you had a mini fridge and a microwave. That's it.
Was this San Diego?
Yeah. And so I lived there for 6 months, 7 months. So
you were roughing it out there.
Oh, for real, I was roughing it. So you either had to eat out or you buy $1 frozen burritos or something. I was in the slums. I was going to, what was that? It was just some super cheap dollar restaurant. It got to a point where I was buying skim milk because it was cheap. It was so much cheaper than regular milk.
Here, let me get this milk flavored water real quick.
For real, I was like, yo, I'm in the slums. It was rough out there. Because they give you a certain amount every month, and this is it depends on where you are, in the world, and so it only gets replenished every month, that they give you. You could obviously, if you have money from home, you can obviously use whatever you want. As much money as you want. Of your own personal money. But this money, but that's expected to, feed you for the whole month, for cleaning, for laundry, whatever, if you got to go to the laundromat, if your apartment doesn't have a washer and dryer. All your groceries, all of that. And I was like, yo, this is rough.
That laundromat trip's always rough.
So them Costco $1.99 pizzas, clutch.
It's roughing it. It's roughing it. I don't think I've ever roughed it that hard. But I also always had a job.
Oh yeah.
I always had a full-time job. Put it that way. I always had a full-time job. So even if I was technically roughing it, I had enough money so I could buy groceries.
Yeah.
If I needed to, not if I needed to, you don't necessarily need to, but if I wanted to go eat out.
Because how'd you pay for school in FAU, bro? That's a lot of money.
So
I'm assuming the tuition ain't cheap.
No. And I did what most people who are uninformed do, is take out student loans.
Oh, you did that? Dang. That's weird.
And I went through a bank too.
I was going to say,
which was
did
bad.
you do it through the school?
So I did the main one through the school, and I did another one through, what was it? Through like an actual bank.
Do you need like a high credit to? Because I'm assuming not. If you're doing it to students.
No,
you don't need any credit.
They hear student loan and they green light
anything.
So this is what happened. So the same time they essentially kicked us out of the dorms.
Okay.
I had to figure out somewhere to live.
Yeah.
Found the condos. Cool. It's technically cheaper. It was gonna work out cheaper per month. And then no meal plan. You know, I'll buy my own groceries. Not super expensive. Not like it is today, but. Yeah. So I was like, all right, man, that'll work. So I go to get like my student loan through financial aid, and I remember
when you started getting student loans.
Right. So I put it in like I got grants at first, but I didn't get anything like second year. So I put in for like how much I would need per my expenses, which, like I said, is now cheaper than the dorms. And they sent me back what I was gonna get, and it didn't even cover my classes.
That's wild.
And I was like, hey man, like I need housing and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like I had a full-time job, but I wasn't making enough to cover like to live on my own. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't live at home. There was nowhere for me to go. So I was like, I have to live I can't live on campus. I have to live somewhere. So I was trying to get a loan to help cover the expenses of living, like literally my rent. And they give me like not enough to cover my classes for the year.
That's crazy.
And I was like, that's a little weird. I call somebody, whoever you call, to like dispute what's going on or get information. And usual spiel, like, hey, your parents make X, Y, Z. I'm like, cool, man, they're not paying any of my school. They might float me a little money here and there, but they're not paying for my classes. They're like, I need to live somewhere. Like, you guys kicked me out of the dorms. Like, I got to go somewhere. Like, I just did the math, like what it would cost me to live somewhere. And they're like, yeah, we can't really do anything. Like, this is the most we can give you. So, dire straits, I go to a bank. I go to my bank. And I'm like, hey, I need a loan. I tell them a student loan, which I found out later is like the wrong thing to tell them, because then they call a different department and they just green light whatever.
They said, let's go.
Let's go.
But I mean, if you have bad credit, you need a loan.
I didn't have bad credit.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, a normal person, if you need money, they say, hey, I need a student loan money. I said, yes, sir.
Yeah, they just green light that shit. How much you need? No problem. I was like, this is way easier.
It's
I'm
like,
you guys
y'all
now fighting with me. I was like, you guys understand. You guys are coming in clutch. You don't understand. I'm homeless if I don't get this money.
For real.
And then, flash forward to when you got to start paying that stuff back. Ooh. Stuff gets a little rough.
Because my friend, he did student loans. He got I think he got the rest of it forgiven. Whatever.
Some of it has.
Like from Joe. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That must be so nice. Because
I can track it. So eventually, the one from the bank just got settled. We were just like, hey, we're going to pay. We'll give you this. My dad was like, we'll give you this. They're like, well, you owe this. I'm like, solid, we'll give you this. And they're like, I bet. Like, we'll take it. So I got cleared. Because he co-signed on it.
Oh, okay,
obviously. Because I'm 21, 22.
Well, you could.
I could, but, they were, they wanted a co-signer. So, like, I didn't have bad credit, I just had no credit. Which is essentially
I'm assuming if you had bad credit, they would want someone to co-sign.
If you have bad credit, they're probably not going to give you the money anyways.
Really?
But if you have no credit, they're like, we need a co-signer.
Yeah.
But bad credit, they're like, you already had credit, and then you messed it up. But yeah, so that was just... There's just no education on it. Like, if I knew what I knew 100%. 5 years ago about student loans, like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. Like,
100%.
I would tell someone to take a class a semester and just pay it up. Like, bro, give them $300.
Graduate.
Dude, I don't care. Dude, because then you're 40 paying it off.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not really paying it off because of the way the interest is. You barely touch the principal. Like, it's so bad. And it's the only loans. It's the only debt that doesn't get forgiven if you die.
That's true.
It's like, bro, what do you mean? I'm who's paying it?
They look at your 2-year-old
I'm
kid.
dead.
Well, I guess you paying. That's crazy.
No, it was rough. So I did that. Did what I had to do. And, lived where I lived. It was a good time. Threw a lot of parties.
Threw a lot of parties. Oh, man, Mark was wild.
Bro, so it was funny. So the way the apartment set up, or the condo, was perfect for parties.
How do you, alright, as someone who's never thrown probably the party you were talking about, how do you plan a party?
I'm gonna break it down how it happened. So I'm gonna set the scene of how unintentionally this is like a perfect party.
Alright, so let's just say you and I chilling. Let's just say I'm your roommate, right? Mm-hmm. We're chilling here, and I'm like, we should have a party. And you're like, bet.
Okay,
and first, I was like, how do I throw this party? Say less.
First ever 2 parties. So the first one, just got to campus. My birthday's at the end of August.
Okay.
So my plague has always been, especially through like middle school and high school, like you're just meeting people. So like when it comes to birthday time, unless you're still like friends with people from like the year before throughout the summer, like your birthday party's kind of whack. Like no one shows up. It should be the opposite though. No one shows up.
No, but you should be like, yo, like you should come to like people that you're trying to be friends with.
I was not that guy.
Oh, you weren't that guy?
Dude, I was 2 feet shorter.
You talk to your crush, you'd be like, yo, come.
That was not happening.
Come give me a birthday gift.
Yo, that was not happening. Not in high school. Nah.
Not for you?
No. I was super shy, and I was kind of, until I started playing soccer, I was pretty pudgy, and I was always really short.
Oh, really?
The height I am now happened after high school.
Dang.
Which
for real?
Yeah.
How tall were you in high school?
When I graduated, I was probably like 5'6".
That's wild.
Maybe 5'7". And I remember shooting up a couple inches in the summer. Like, this is whack. I don't need it now.
I don't need it now.
I need to be tall in high school.
You need it in college too. You need it more in college, technically.
Okay, but yeah, let me. So the parties. So, birthday comes around. Just started in school. Just meeting my roommates.
So you're 19, probably.
No. I was turning 21.
Oh, okay.
First party, I was turning 21.
Okay, so you can buy alcohol then.
So I bought. Yeah, they sold it to me first. So the place we got alcohol from was around here, and then we drove down. They sold it to me because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna sell it to you on your birthday. Like, we normally don't let anybody in here, like, period, unless they're 21. But they're like, it's your birthday, we'll sell it to you. All right, cool.
But it was that day was your 21st birthday.
Yeah, no, like this was at night.
What? I don't get it.
All right, I'm gonna get into it. So
okay. That didn't make any sense.
It's gonna make sense in a second. So 21st birthday, the guy my mother's married to at the time has a well-connected son in Palm Beach. So he knows a lot of people, clubs, whatever. He's a couple weeks before, he's like, hey man, for your birthday, let me know what you want to do. I'll get you in wherever. And I was like, all right, cool. I want to go here. You know, can you get me in? Yeah, no problem. I know people at the door, people that work there, whatever. All right.
You knew the clubs to go to?
He knew where. I knew of clubs.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't been there, but
I don't know a single club around here. This is wild.
I haven't been to a club in a minute, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't know if the same club.
Your whole dad. What you mean? Why you in the club?
I mean, I go out. You know, get a babysitter. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. No.
But so he was like, yeah, I got you. So the night of my birthday, I'm ready. I'm with some people.
Yeah.
And I hit him up, and I was like, yo, where you at? Like, I've been texting you all day. Like, you said, you're going to get me in such and such. He's like, oh, yeah, let me hit you back. As soon as he hit me with that, I was just like, all right, this is a wrap. So it's like pushing 11 o'clock already. So I was like, all right, see what we can do. I was with a few people. So I was like, if you guys don't have a problem rolling down to Boca, we'll go to my new spot. Let's get some liquor, just hang out, whatever. I got on like whatever social media I had at the time, probably MySpace and
That's
Facebook.
wild, my man.
And I hit up some people, and I was like, yo, party. Posted on whatever, and I was like, yo, party, my place. Text me or call me for the address. A few people showed up, like decent amount of people showed up. And we ended up with a bunch of liquor. My roommates had already had liquor there. So we were drinking. The next week, it's like we're getting to the weekend, and we're realizing like, yo, we still got a bunch of liquor from my birthday.
Yeah.
It's like, so what do we do? I'm like, let's throw another party. So I get on, same thing. I get up on socials and I'm just like, yo, party, my place, this way. And they're like, everyone was like, for what? Like, you just had a party. I'm like, because we still got liquor. Like, I was super blunt. Like, we still got liquor.
That's crazy.
A bunch of people rolled through and it just kind of snowballed because, so like, I didn't know the guys that I was living with. We had like essentially 3 friend groups to pick from, to pull from when we invited people.
Yeah.
And the way the condo was set up is like the first floor was my bedroom and the garage. Second floor was literally as open as you can imagine. So living room, dining room, all one thing led into the kitchen with a big wraparound island.
Oh, this is a condo.
Had a little small dining room in the corner with a little table, and it had its own balcony. Like, these were nice condos.
Oh, these are condos.
And that was just the second floor. Then you went up to the third floor and those 2 more bedrooms. And that was like where we had my buddy had his master that he would give tours of, which was fucking hilarious.
You give tours of?
Yeah, he would get like a line of girls to be like, yo, y'all want to see my bathroom? Because it had literally like a 6-person jacuzzi tub and like an 8-person shower in there.
He's flexing on them. All right, I respect it. I
was like, bro. I'm like, we got to get some rotation going.
He said,
we got to rotate.
Line of girls?
Bro, I followed it once because I look over in the middle of a party and he literally had like 6 girls in a line following him upstairs.
That's
for
crazy.
A tour, like we're in some mansion, like for a tour of his bathroom.
I
just grabbed my drink and I just had a smug look and I was like, walking upstairs and like I knew what he was doing. So I literally just walked in, I sat down like on the bed and I just like watched him.
They were like, yo,
this is my shower and this is your
that's fun.
It was wild.
You said you still talk to those people?
Yeah.
You talk to them 100%. About that?
Bro, we tell wild stories. People still come up to me to this day and say stuff about those parties.
That's wild.
I was in college in like 07, 08, 09. Like, bro, that was a long time. People still come up.
That's crazy.
We used to make like wild mixed drinks and people still are like, hey, I'm having a party. Can you make like a batch of that? And I'm like, that's wild. I'm like, I guess you want to die. But yeah. Because we used to just wreck people with that stuff. We tell everybody slow down. We're like, yo, that thing's gonna sneak up on you, so just take it slow. Don't listen, because it tastes like candy. And then...
That's crazy. So is it like Skittles and some? Because I be seeing some wild drinks on TikTok.
No. What we would do is like, we would take, you ever seen like the big 3-gallon jugs with like a tap on it?
Yeah.
We would take that and make a giant mixed drink.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do that on TikTok.
And we'd stick it in the fridge. This thing had a giant fridge. So we'd stick it in the fridge and people would just open the fridge, pour, whatever. And people would bring bottles, we'd just put it on the counter. But most people didn't touch that because the tap's right there, so it's fucking easy. Let's just do that. Next thing you know, we got like 15 bottles for free off a 3-gallon jug that probably cost us $20 to make.
That's wild.
So it was a little hustle. One of the the 2 guys were brothers.
Oh.
Older brother, he would party a little bit, but nothing crazy. Me and the younger one would party more. Like we'd just be upstairs wilding. And so what he started to do...
That must be annoying though. If you don't like to party and there's a party at your house?
So, he just didn't like to like be all up in the commotion, but he didn't mind the party going on.
Oh,
so
okay.
He would literally take a 6-pack. After a while, he would take a 6-pack. And because this neighborhood was gated, but other units would throw parties, people would parked all over the place. So, if it's a neighborhood you're really going to, you don't really want to leave your car. Like, you kind of get nervous about it. So he would pop the garage door, sit on his car, like lean up against his car in the garage, and with a 6-pack. And if someone like parked close, he'd be like, yo, you need me to watch your car? Bet. And pay him a little cash. He's like, I'll watch your car, dog. Don't worry about it. He's like, yeah, if the tow truck comes, I live here, it's fine. And he was downstairs just hustling people.
That's what's up.
Parking money.
That's what's up.
But it got crazy. Like, word got out. I think the main thing was free liquor, obviously. But our ratios were always, like, crazy.
What do you mean ratio?
Like women to men.
Oh, okay.
Like there was always like a ton of women there, like a ton of girls there.
Isn't that what you want as a college?
Yeah, that's what you want. But like with very little effort, this happened, and it's like that's what everyone tries to do. Everyone's like, yeah, we don't want like a sausage fest in our party or in our club. So they like do the most to get as many girls in there as possible. We really we put the invites out everywhere and just a bunch of girls would show up and not a lot of guys. And then towards the end, it got to the point where we had to go on rotation at the front door and be like, yo, you can't, we don't even know you. You can't come up in here.
Like that's wild. Inviting complete strangers into your house, that's wild. Even for a party, that's still wild.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Like if you showed up with someone we knew, it was a little bit different because that, we're cool with you and your voucher.
Y'all were that frat house.
But it was an unofficial frat house. It was wild, bro. It was so wild.
Because that just sounds like a frat house party.
It really was. It's just only 3 guys lived there instead of like 10 frat guys. It was crazy. And then we kept doing it. We had like a party almost every month. And then we would have not end of the year, but like the break parties. So most people went home.
Yeah.
There was some people, obviously, they don't travel or for whatever reason they stay in town. But if you're in town on breaks, campus is a ghost town. There's no classes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing other than maybe working? So we would always throw a party, and it would just be like whoever's left, and those would get pretty wild. Because, like, you got nothing else to do. I don't have to wake up for classes. You might have a job or something, but other than that, like, you're just chilling.
Have you showed up to class hungover? Ever?
No. Not hungover. No, because we would throw them on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how my body handled it. We would drink we would usually throw the party on Friday night.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively. Friday night party. The next morning at 7 a.m., I'd be on the track with one of my roommates, and we're running sprints.
That's wild. 0
problems. I had the running chute, and we would.
Oh, you had the running chute?
I still have it somewhere. It's lasted all these years. I still have it somewhere, but yeah, we started running shoot drills after we were just drinking, and then I go to work.
That's wild.
I go to work at 10 a.m., 9:30, 10 a.m. I don't know how my body did that. It was wild.
It was young as hell.
Yeah, my liver was just taking everything and spitting it back out. It was not a problem, but yeah, it's not happening these days.
That's crazy.
It was a lot. I had to slow down at one point because I did go get a checkup, and the doctor's like, listen, either you're drinking way too much or you have liver disease.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, I think it's what I'm drinking. Because other than the parties, I really didn't drink. Because I was always at work or I was playing soccer or something like that. Like I didn't go out and drink. I didn't really hit the bars. But if we had a party, I would drink.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think it's what I'm drinking. So in those taps, the way we made them so strong for real cheap is we would take a whole bottle of Everclear.
I have no idea what that is.
So Everclear is just like grain alcohol. So it's like the highest proof alcohol you can get.
That's wild.
You don't drink, so you don't really have a reference to this. So most, like say your normal bottle of whiskey is like 40% alcohol by volume.
So that's like what, like Jack Daniels' whiskey?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably like 30 to 40, right? Just ballpark.
Okay.
This stuff was like 85 to 90%.
How's that legal?
So it was the highest 151. I don't know if you can still buy it in Florida because I know they like changed like what the highest one was. So at the time, 151 was the highest you can get in the state of Florida. We had someone bring a bottle from I think like DC or something. The highest they sold there was 190 proof.
That's crazy.
That was like they literally jet fuel. You could throw it in a race car and run it.
That's wild.
Like it was crazy. So we would put that in. We would take the 3-gallon jug.
Okay.
And we take the big things of Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
We take 2 of those, put it in there.
That's 2
crazy,
of those.
crazy. 2 of those.
No wonder it's sweet.
Yeah, so 2 of those. Straight candy. So 2 of those.
For real.
2 of those, and then we put a whole bottle of Everclear.
How much is a bottle? Like a liter?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Yeah, usually. About a liter. So
two
that whole thing.
Bottle,
That whole thing, and then we'd put something else that would give it like a little bite. So usually like on a bottle of like a peach flavored vodka or something or rum or something.
Okay.
So that you can taste a little bit of alcohol because otherwise they think we're just serving them juice.
Oh, it doesn't. That liquor doesn't taste like anything.
If you were to mix it in something, it does not. It doesn't have flavor.
Oh, really?
But if you were to take a shot of it, which I did once, it burns all the way down. Like
really?
My eyes popped out of my head. It was while I started sweating. It was
so
crazy.
like if you mix it in,
it's essentially moonshine. If you know what moonshine, like just
I've heard of it, like from the memes.
super high proof stuff that they distill out in the woods and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's essentially that, but just made in a factory.
Like, if you poured it in, I don't know, like fruit punch or whatever, you wouldn't taste alcohol in it at all.
Enough fruit punch, you probably wouldn't taste it at all.
So you had to add like, I don't know, like pina colada vodka or whatever.
We had to add some kind of spirit that you would taste, so that people don't think we were just serving them juice and then they just keep chugging it. Because that's the problem.
Oh, if it tastes like nothing, you just
right.
drink it
out.
out.
You tell me like, yo, slow down because it's gonna sneak up on you because you don't taste it, so you're drinking it. I'm like, oh, that was nothing. You drink another cup within like 10 minutes, and then like in 15 minutes you're on your ass because you've never had it. So, yeah, that shit was strong. We made a bunch of different iterations and recipes. We eventually had this thing called pool water, which tasted amazing but looked disgusting.
That sounds disgusting.
We did 3 taps one party, and they didn't all finish. So we dumped them all into one.
That's great.
That was like a dark purple brown color thing with a bunch of fruit floating in it. It was so delicious, but it looked gross. So my roommate was like, yeah, we're going to call it the pool water.
It's that pool water.
But yeah, I mean...
So were you like known as like, were you famous on campus?
Not me personally.
Okay.
Yes and no. So I didn't go around. I usually went to campus and like I kind of just like talked to the people I knew, and I would go to class and kind of get out because I worked full time.
Yeah. So like like in movies and stuff, where it's like you're like the famous high school kid where everyone's saying what's up to you. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
People would like see me, or they would say I've had a couple times people talk about a party and I'm like, yeah, that was my house. Like they didn't realize that I lived there because at one point there was a ton.
I was gonna ask like how many people. What's the most people you think you've had at a party?
Maybe 60.
60. That
shit was wildin'. That one I think we shut down. Yeah, I think that was the most people we had. It got shut down.
By who?
Us. We shut it down because my bedroom was on the bottom floor, and obviously, like I said, we try to keep at least if people show up, at least 1 or 2 people in your group. Like if we don't know you, we know somebody with you, right? But inevitably, people are gonna like walk in because it was it's a college neighborhood. People go from one house party to another. It happened. Party's always on the second floor. Stay on the second floor. You don't go anywhere else. You don't need to. Drinks are up there. Dance floor's up there. There's a balcony if you need some air. If there's a bathroom if you need to take a piss. Like everything's up there.
So how your apartment goes, it's like the floor's here and you walk straight up.
So if you walk in the front door, you go straight up and it's to the second floor. My room door is right there.
So you can easily just go into your room.
Right.
Okay.
And then if you walk past my room door is the door for the garage.
Okay, got it.
So we were having some kind of party, and I was in my bedroom with like a friend, 2 friends. Yeah, no, friend and some girl I was dating at the time. I think I was dating her. I don't know. Anyway, two female friends. So I guess these 2 dudes saw that the 2 females went into the room. So like we always tell people like, hey man, just stay on the second floor, don't go in any of the rooms. So he
which is like a basic rule.
Basic rule: if you go to a house, people
house
don't know.
party. Yeah, exactly.
So he like opened the door. It wasn't locked. He like opened the door and like tried to peek his head in. And my friend, she kicked the door or something, or she got in his face and was like, "Can I help you?" And he was like, "Oh, my bad. I was just trying to see who was in here." She's like, "No, your business." And then the other girl started like yelling at them, and they closed it. And I could hear them catching an attitude outside my door. I don't remember what I said because I was drinking, but I said something slick, and they're like, "Oh, that's like they heard it and they like reacted to it." And I was like, "Yo, got jokes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, because it's my house." And then so I was like, man, forget this. I'll just kick them out. The door's right there. As I open the door, I see like them turning the corner on the landing. So I was like, fuck, they're going upstairs. So it was already late. So like we go upstairs, lights are out, so we can't see them. So I just go over to where the DJ was. And then
you had a whole DJ?
Bro, people would DJ. We didn't hire people, but we had a DJ most nights.
What is these house party girl? Oh, this is a house party.
This was like an official setup.
Yo, this house party.
So,
yo,
are you thinking it's just like a boombox in the corner?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's just some stereo. Yo, y'all guys, this is great.
No, these house parties were epic. They were crazy. They were like a full setup. There was one party we charged, but I'll get into that.
Okay.
So anyways, I flick on the lights and I was like, yo, I appreciate you coming, whether you were here for, I think it was one of my birthday parties or something. If you're here for my birthday party or if you just coming because you know Cliff and Chris, but people going into rooms they're not supposed to, so we're trying to find them. And as I'm saying that, I see them like dart through the crowd and just run out. So I'm like, I can't even confront them because they were just out. They didn't want a problem. So I was like, man, lights are on. I was like, all right, everybody, I guess go home. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the fuck out of here.
So in your parties, right? What time would you usually start?
8, 9-ish.
8, 9-ish. What time would it end? Typically.
Depends.
What do you mean?
After 2, maybe. We were partying. There was one time
because I'm thinking it's like 2, like 1 to 2, like the parties usually end.
Yeah, about that time. Yeah.
Okay.
1 or 2. I mean, maybe a little later. It depends. It depends how the party was going. If everything was chill, no noise complaints, which I don't think we ever got a real noise complaint. No complaints. Everybody was behaving themselves, like nothing crazy. Then we kind of kept it going until people just eventually start trickling out.
Yeah, people just eventually.
I think the latest we had people there was like close to 5.
That's wild.
That was wild.
That's wild.
That was wild.
Y'all need to go home at this point.
Well, there was I think that party people trickled out, but I was still there with a guest, like hanging out. And then I was just like, all right, man, I'll walk you to your car. And then that was a funny situation. So you want to hear that, or you want to hear?
I want to hear this party that you charge.
Yeah.
Y'all big time now? Y'all became
No,
big
so
time?
we were having a Halloween party.
Okay.
And we were like, hey, everyone's got to get dressed up. If you don't dress up, then we had 2 girls run around with painter's tape and a Sharpie. And like, if you don't have a costume or you're not dressed up in some kind of way, we're going to charge you. And then the girls are going to like clown on you. They're going to say who you look like and put the tape on you and write it. Like, and it's not going to be nice. It's going to be like a joke. Like, we're messing with you. So it got to a point where, like, we were just charging because people were showing up without a costume. They thought we were joking. Like, we told people ahead of time, like, yo, it's a costume party. You have to have a costume or you're paying. We didn't tell them about the marker shit. I think we thought of that time. But yeah, we were like, yo, you got to pay if you're not dressed up. It is what it is. We never charged anybody for liquor. So it's like, you're getting free liquor no matter what. If you've been to...
Well, not if you don't pay.
Well, no, that's just entry, but like you're getting I think we were like $5.
Oh, okay.
$5. We have bottles and bottles.
I'm thinking this was like 20, 30 bucks.
No. We weren't doing that. We're trying to be funny. We honestly thought everyone was going to come in costume, but a bunch of people just didn't show up. And they're like, yeah, $5. And then the girls would write something on their back, and that was that.
I got text this much.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
We got somewhere to be.
No.
So we did that, and we made like a little bit of change that night. But other than that,
you didn't. That's the only party you charged for. I don't understand why. Like, if you knew parties were popping, why you didn't charge?
It wasn't about that. Like, we were just having fun.
Okay.
When they started getting really crazy, we had to like watch the door, and we were just like, dude, no. Or if like, because I guess the word got out of not only was like it was a popping party, but like we had a lot of girls there, so like a group of guys would show up And it's like, bro, I don't know any of you. I'm not about to let 8 dudes in my house that none of the 3 of us know you. Nah, bro, that's not happening. So we had to start like policing the door. So we were like, there was a couple parties we had to rotate. Like it was like me, my roommates, the guy you saw that was at work today, Jeff.
Yo, he's a scary dude to be walking into a party. No.
So I don't know why I'm always friends with people that are like giant humans. But like,
he's what, 6'5" or something?
He's up there, and he's in shape. But in college, he like went on this thing where he was like just really jacked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was probably. I think he was a little bit bigger then, but he's always been a big dude. And then my roommates were basketball players, so like.
Oh, really?
The smaller one was 6'4",
That's
and a little swole. The other one was 6'6", and he was like 2 something. Like they were big boys. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always
some 5'11" guy.
Bro, I know. And then you got me. Hold up, man. 5'11" and a half, man.
You're 5'11" and a half.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Just shy of 6 feet.
6 feet. That sucks. That must suck.
I'm right there. It's all right. I don't care. Don't bother me. The way my dad put it was, it all lines up when you're lying down, so height don't matter. Yes, my father told me that.
That's why.
Who's taller than me? So I'm like, don't tell me shit about height. You're taller than me.
Because I passed my dad in height when I was like 13. 14?
We're like tiered. So like my dad's a little bit taller than me and has a little bit bigger shoe size. And then my brother is a little bit shorter than me, has a little bit smaller shoe size.
That's crazy.
So it's like 12, like shoes is 12, 11, 10 and a half. And then my dad's right at 6 feet, I'm right under, and then my brother's like half an inch shorter than me.
Dude, I remember the day I passed my dad in height, I was so happy. That was one of the best days of my entire life. I was like, hallelujah.
I wanted to be tall because I was really short in high school.
Yeah.
And then after, I didn't really care.
Yeah, because like he taught me to play, and like I'm a super competitive person, and I think I got that from him. Mm-hmm. So like we played basketball, and like most of he was like taller than me, so he can like, it was just easier for him to do things. I was like, one day when I get taller, you get into smoke.
You know what made me mad is that like they told me when I was like younger. I guess there's a calculation you can do. I forgot what age. I think it's 3. That whatever
you can
height,
kind of predict what height you get. Yeah.
So according whatever height I was at age 3, the calculation said I was gonna be 6'2".
Dang.
Your boy.
Dirty.
I got shorted bad.
You gotta carry the 2 or something. Carry the number.
Not happy. There was some bad math going on. Something.
Sam doing that math.
Bro.
Sam did that calculation as well.
I was upset. I was like, where's this height at? Where's this height coming in, bro?
I remember like my first, because if I showed you a picture of me in 6th grade, I'm some like maybe like 5'6" fat kid. Like I'm nowhere near as tall as I was. I remember one weekend I was just super sick. Like I didn't get out of bed because I don't know, I was just super sick. And then after like that Sunday right before school started, I like looked in the mirror and I was significantly taller.
Like,
I was like
clothes
3-4 inches.
Ankles showing.
I was like, yo, let me get sick again. What's going on?
Nah, I wish. I was always hoping like I'd wake up and like, yeah, I'm gonna get taller. I'm like, puberty's gonna hit.
Rough.
And I'm gonna.
That's rough. I'm still hoping
I'm gonna get an extra deep voice.
I don't think I can get tall.
I'm gonna get super tall. I'm gonna get jacked. And then I was just like, I got older, and then I was like, I think I already went through all this.
I want to show you a pic. People said like when I was young, I looked like young Drake.
You're ridiculous.
No, I'm
you could be a
serious. Stunt
double if he was taller. Probably.
I would like. I look so fresh off the boat. I look.
You look fresh off the boat now.
I need to find you.
You got palm trees on your shirt.
Hey, don't mess with it. It's the guest. It's the guest shirt.
My man got a guest shirt with the track pants talking about he used to look off the boat. Dog, you were right now.
Hey, don't make fun of the fit. It's all right.
Not judging, I'm just saying.
It's better than what Sam wore. So what was that?
So, I don't know. She like on the pod?
Yeah.
Bro, she came here from the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was like, I'm at the sauna. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's solid. And then she's like, I'm stopping to get a beer. I'm like, I have stuff here. And then she showed up with like the most white trash beer ever.
No, it wasn't. I swear it was like margarita or something.
That's what I was drinking. I had like a canned margarita. Yeah.
That's wild.
I controlled myself today when we went to the restaurant. We took the kid to the restaurant.
You went to Chili's?
Yeah, he wanted to get his ice cream cookie.
Does he just gets ice cream cookies?
No, he got food.
What does he eat? Does he get kids menu?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite? What meal do you get?
Me?
Yeah.
At Chili's, so I'm a big fan of the honey chipotle.
Is it the one that's right by here?
Yeah,
that's the one I go. I go to that one all the time.
Yeah, that's our spot. That's the one when like my dad and brother are in town. Like I showed Jeff a picture once because like it was just crazy. My dad will come into town.
Your friend Jeff or
no Jeff? Jeff from work. So like my brother and my dad will come in town at the same time, and we'll go at like noon. And they got, if you get the house Long Island iced teas, it's buy one get one all the time. So we'd have like 11 cups on the table, like loaded up. And our thing was like, yo, we order the drinks, and they usually bring us 2 at a time.
Bro, one time I'm missing, people trying to call me, bro. Get out of here.
So we'd order 2 at a time, and then we try to finish one before they brought our food.
That's crazy.
So but yeah, we load up a little bit. And Long Island's are kind of strong. I don't know if you know. So Long Island has like 7 different kind of liquors in there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that why it's like that brownish color?
No, the brownish color is because they put a like spritz of Coca-Cola in it. There's no iced tea.
Okay.
But there is rum, there is tequila, there is vodka, so there is gin.
It's just like one part of each.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. They put a little sour in, a little.
I will say though, that's like interesting, like to mix all those different flavors to make it taste decent. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I like the way it tasted. But yeah. But no, I control myself because they had a really nice looking marg. They had like, I guess they're doing margaritas of the month.
Okay.
And they had like a really.
I think yeah.
They had a nice one on the card, and I was like, I ordered. My girl was like, "You're not." You know, where am I? I'm like, no, I'm trying to.
It's like those drinks. I was like, man, that does look good to drink, but like, I would never drink it, obviously.
Would you drink like a virgin margarita?
Yes,
okay.
But apparently, I was told from a coworker we both know that they still use the same, like it's still all the same materials.
What do you mean?
I mean, like it's all the same blender and all the same if you order it virgin or not. So like you still get like a hint of alcohol in it. Even though it is washed, obviously.
Well, if you don't get a frozen margarita, maybe if it's frozen.
Like, because I'd get virgin pina coladas because I think pina coladas are so good.
So that's like made in a blender.
Yeah.
Like most so if you get a frozen margarita, yes, that probably it might be happening. I would imagine they rinse it out at least.
Yeah, I'm sure they wash it.
But if you get like a legit margarita, they make it in a shaker, and they 100%
like the little metal thing.
Yeah. And it's like they 100% rinse that out, like because you don't want to make someone a drink, and then you go make another drink and you get the flavor carries over. Yeah. So like everything gets washed out. Usually a bar will have like it's like a weird looking contraption, but you push the glass onto it, and that's what activates it, and it shoots water like high pressure into, and it just flushes it out.
Quick, okay.
Yeah. Or like
apparently. Like pina coladas, are just mad sweet because
it's all sugar. Yeah.
There's no alcohol to balance it.
I think Sav had one recently. We went out a couple months ago, and she hasn't been drinking. So she had like a virgin drink. Yeah. And she said it was good, but like you can tell it tastes different because, like you said, they're made to have alcohol to counteract that flavor. So it's like.
And when I go with friends, I just have someone taste test it for me just in case.
What do you mean?
Like if
if it's gross,
a virgin pina colada to see if it has alcohol. I have them taste test it.
I'd be so like if it was me that served you, I'd feel so bad if you were like, yo, I don't drink alcohol because of like religious reasons, and I accidentally served you.
You know the restaurant Bimini Twist? I don't know if I told you the story.
I know the restaurant, but no.
I don't know if
they served you.
No, I got served. So we're going. It was for my friend's birthday. And he drinks. Okay. It was him, his girlfriend, and his other friend. We all knew each other from high school. So he's like, I want to go there. So we go, and it's apparently supposed to be super fancy, yada, yada, yada. We show up. Obviously, the first thing you order is drinks. So it's obviously the long thing that has all their food, stuff like that. And there's usually drinks on the back. And then they have a nice fancy book of all, like, cocktails, margaritas,
the drink menu.
Daiquiris. And So obviously I'm like, there's no point in me looking at that because it's all alcohol. Like I'm not gonna. So I'm reading like the food. I'm like, let me look at the drinks. There's nothing on there. So I'm like, where are the drinks? Are there just alcoholic drinks in here? So they like, I let them look through it, and I'm like, let me see the book. I like try to flip all alcoholic. So I'm like, what am I supposed to drink?
Can I just get lemonade?
Like, so then the server comes, and I'm like, what non-alcoholic drinks you have? So they said we have water. I got Coca-Cola, unsweet iced tea, and sweetened iced tea. I can't drink iced tea, so it's just water or Coke. So I'm like, sweet, just give me a Coke. So, and I was already like, this is annoying. So I'm in my I think I'm on my like second cup, and I was like, wait, this wasn't on the menu. How much am I paying for this one thing of Coke? Like it could be $20. I don't know. So I was just super upset.
Now unless I had liquor in it, but I mean, if it's got liquor in it, then it might be $20, but
no, it was like I looked at the thing.
Did they put it in like a small glass?
No, it was in a standard glass. It was like $1.50. It was a normal price for like what you would pay in a restaurant. I was like, all right, I would have fought it. I was like, I'm only paying 50 cents for it. I was like, it's not on here. It doesn't say market price, so I can pay whatever I want for it.
Market price. It's not sea bass.
Yeah, no, because they had. I hate the concept of market price because you don't know what the market is.
You ask them though.
That's wild. They'll tell you. Give me a fixed price. I don't care if you're struggling.
That's the problem with Well, it's not them. It's just a problem with seafood.
I don't care.
So it varies. It varies.
Take it off the menu then if it's too expensive. Wow.
Like catch of the day, bro.
I don't care no catch for the day. Give me my salmon at $20. I ain't drinking.
It's like I'm not gonna order it, but I want to know how much it is. It's $20. Bet. Give me the chicken.
3 different things I order on the menu. Oh, we don't have it.
That'd be frustrating. But.
And then I went and ordered dessert. We don't have that. I was like, bro, what is the point of this?
I mean, that's like any Jamaican restaurant. Like you roll in, they just don't have stuff. I'm like, bro, you just opened. How do you have?
Yeah. So I was like, this place.
The amount of times I went to a Jamaican spot and was just like, let me get some plantains, and they're like, we don't have it. I'm like,
that's wild.
That's the side. Like that's the side listed with this meal. Like how do you?
That Jamaican spot, no plantains.
I'm like, I'm looking at the thing right now. It says with plantains. So what are you giving me?
That's crazy.
I want your soggy cabbage.
For real.
I want plantains with my curry chicken.
This man eating curry chicken like that.
I used to.
Hold up, people.
Guy.
The one time I'm busy, everybody's want to text.
They're used to you not having a life, I guess. Jan's
always
available.
Yeah, I'm always free. Ridiculous.
No, I used to eat it a lot because the barbershop I used to go to, there was a Jamaican spot next door.
No, so Jamaican food is good though.
I would literally go in, I'd grab a drink and like 2 patties. I'd go check in with the barber and tell him, so get in line basically. And then I'd eat that, go get my cut, and then on the way out I'd stop back in the Jamaican spot.
That's wild.
And get like an order of curry chicken or something.
That's good.
And take that home.
Dude.
Because that was back when I was in college, so I only came to town really once a week. And I would get a haircut and...
Has ever been to any like Trini places around here?
There's one down the street.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, we used to go. It's really good.
Does she say it's good?
Bro,
why are they people calling me?
So unprofessional.
Listen, this is not my fault.
This is crazy.
This isn't my fault. I'm sorry. For the people at home.
God, so unprofessional. Not only this is like your 3rd reschedule, but just constantly...
It wasn't constantly.
Alerts going on.
This was after like an hour. We've been here for like an hour and a half.
A little bit. There's a good spot down the street called Curry Tabanca. They're really solid.
She like it?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
because my friend, she's training. We went to it's like the Mardi Gras thing they do in Universal.
Okay.
And it's like Mardi Gras around the world. So like every country that has a Mardi Gras, they have food there. We went to the Trini spot. And like she was understanding. She's like, obviously it's not going to be like true Trini because I'm pretty sure some Jeff and John are making it. But she was like, oh, it's pretty close. But next to us, I guess there was some Trini vlogger or something. She was like, this doesn't taste like this. It's not supposed to look like this. I'm upset. Universal, you need a fix. I was like, bro, calm down.
So I'm not going to expect Universal to get Caribbean food right.
For real.
That's just me.
For real.
But saying that, I've always had a knack for finding it anywhere I go.
Finding what? Like Caribbean food?
Trinity food specifically.
Oh, okay.
So like we went to St. Augustine once, and we're just driving down the road. There's like nothing really around, and then I'm like, yo, there's a doubles cart over there. Like just a random little doubles cart.
That's great.
We went to see my dad in Minnesota. Minnesota State Fair. Largest state fair in the country.
Really?
And
we're like when they got the Mall of America too?
Yes, we went there a couple times, and then I don't think we saw everything.
I bet it's a whole zip code. It has its own
pretty
zip code.
much. Yeah, there's a roller coaster inside, and underneath the mall is a giant aquarium.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
The food court is essentially a whole floor somewhere at the top. Like it's huge. Not as big as your fucking water jug, but it's huge.
Listen, why everybody gotta roast my water?
I missed the see-through.
Hydrated.
I missed the see-through one.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I was driving to work one day, and then some bozo cut me off, so I had to brake really hard, and then the lid broke, and then like the whole gallon just fell off the seat. I was so mad. I was like, well, gotta go metal. And the funny thing is, that was after our coworker Mason was. It was like a week before he was like roasting me like, oh, you got plastic. You know how he is.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang.
Just talking shit.
I guess I gotta go to metal. I guess I gotta go to metal. I had this for like 2 years now.
But yeah, so the state fair, we're inside because my dad's like, oh, we gotta get the cheese curds, like they're world famous. And we go in there and there's like a whole little Trini restaurant inside. I'm like, is this always here? I'm like, why? Everywhere I go. And then I went to, when I went to get my instructor cert, I went somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Orlando. And I'm like trying to find food on lunch. And I found.
Why'd you go to Orlando? I swear they do it down here.
They did it in Miami, but my brother lives in Orlando. So I was like, I'll go hang out with him while so I'll hang out with him while I'm there for the weekend.
Yeah.
I find a Colombian spot, which was actually really good. On my GPS. Right. This spot was really good. But I went and got the Colombian food, and right next door is like a Trini/Guyanese little market, and I'm like, bro, everywhere I go I find this shit. So obviously I stopped in there and got a bunch of snacks.
People. No offense to all the Trinis out there. Y'all wild.
It's a good time.
Y'all parties be crazy. What's the
Carnival?
I guess it's their carnival, like the one they do here in Miami every year.
Yeah, Miami.
It's like
Carnival.
The paint one, whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all that.
They have a bunch of stuff. They have Carnival. They
my
have
friend
Juve,
showed me. I was just like,
stuff.
I was like, hey, I think I expressed like faint interest in it,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, you don't want to go. Like this is not.
It's
for
wild.
You.
It's
you
wild.
know me, so I was like, I would instantly walk in and be like, I want.
That's like. That's
Sodom and Gomorrah.
You walk through the gate. You walk through the gate, and it's just straight Jan after dark. There's nothing.
No,
that's just Jan after dark, and you're in another world.
That's me in a different plane, y'all. That is wild.
I keep laughing because like Sab's cousins are going.
Oh really?
So like it's always funny. There's always people that are like, I'm gonna go.
Soon?
I think it's later this month, but it's like they're trying to get like in shape.
It's what happens in the summer.
Yeah, they're like trying to get in shape for it. So like it's like the struggle to like, because like you're like in bikinis and stuff and like no shirt if you're a guy usually. You might have like some decoration or something on if you feel like that. But it's an outdoor party, like you're gonna sweat, minimal clothing, like so like everybody's trying to look good.
Twerk on some random person.
So I always laugh.
Oh, they're wild.
Well, it's wild. Well, it's normal for them. Like it's
that's what's wild.
Yeah. Like what would get like American people in a fight, like if you saw like your significant other or something like that doing, like they're at like a party.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me, buddy.
It is.
There's some wild people. What were you gonna say about you? You mentioned you wanted. What's so funny?
No, I was gonna ask something.
Go ask it.
No, I was like, so. There has to be because the outliers in the Mormon community be really wildin'. So there has to be like parties where we're like.
Well, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There has to be.
There has to be.
Of course.
Because you have derfing.
What was that again?
Derfing.
I forget what that was.
Derfing is like dry humping completely.
Oh yeah, that was dry. I just call it dry hump.
Yeah, why do you have a secretive word that brings attention? When someone says derfing, what the fuck is that?
19-year-old kids in BYU, they're wild.
They're horned up, dog. Horned up.
They're finally free from their parents' grasp, I guess. Who knows? But there has to be those. If there, I wouldn't know where to find them. I was always that weird. I don't know. That kid.
Didn't get
like, and I was one. I didn't look like them. I eat white, so I was just like,
Facts.
they probably.
I mean,
you're
pretty white.
And then I didn't act like them because I'm from Florida. Like the things that are normal to me is not anywhere near normal to them. So I had a pretty limited crowd I'd be able to talk to. And it's funny, like, because I hung out with a bunch of friends that I knew here.
Okay.
Like I didn't grow up with them, but like I saw each other all the time in like events and stuff like that. So I didn't dorm with them, but I was just we're in the same building, so I just
hang out. You already knew them, so
yeah. And we'd go out to eat together and stuff. Like we would hang out with like their friends that they met there. They would act so different to them compared to like when it was just us chilling.
Well, you always got to explain the Florida people, like to.
No,
like
it was
other
like
people.
No, it's just
like no matter what.
Because it seemed like like how we are is just normal here, but like I couldn't act like this with them because it's just like how I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So would they
experience.
Do you think like you mean like this more? They're more off put by it.
Not off put by it. It's just I don't know.
Judgy.
Not judgy. No, it's just like abnormal to them. So it's just
they're just not used to it.
Yeah, they're just not used to. Like, the thing we probably talked about, it would be a completely different
They
podcast.
would be like, I can't believe you're talking about this. Like,
they wouldn't ask, like, when you were talking about the parties, they probably just switched
They would just walk away.
Maybe.
How dare they? Because they're going to walk away, go to their dorm, and soak.
That's right.
Disrespectful. The judgment they're passing on my party story when they're just like, man, this guy's talking about some wild stuff. Hey, man, you want to go bounce for me real quick?
I want to have a conversation with a group of people that have done that.
That have done that?
I just want to see what in their right minds would do that.
Can you do that without like being like just like you guys are the worst?
Me?
Would you be able to?
I at some point I'd be like, y'all are stupid. Like I would get to that point.
You get fed up eventually.
But like it's me when I ask you guys at work like questions about I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that one conversation we were having about strip clubs or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's how I would just ask questions.
Yeah.
I was just want to see from their point of view why do they see it. And then once I feel like I got enough, I just roast them.
I feel like if they were like honest and they're like, listen, man, I'm just trying to get around this thing. Like it's my hormones taking hold. If they were honest about it, whatever their reason
I
was.
still don't get.
But if they start making excuses and like trying to justify how it's okay and it's not getting.
Oh, like they're trying to explain why.
Yeah, and they're like, it's not getting around the rule. Like if they're trying to trick me, to like make me think like, oh
that
no,
they're fine. Yeah,
then
I'm
all right. Then like, dude, calm down. Like I know what you're doing. Like.
No, even if they're honest, I was like, why not just have sex then? Why do you have to go through this whole giant loophole? I'm sure you'll get a lot more pleasure in actually having sex than whatever doing.
Guarantee you they will. I just don't know.
I can't speak on that.
I know. But I'm just.
So I'm like, why go through all that effort if you truly believe, like, if you know you're doing something bad, why not just fully do it? I don't know.
I guess if they're pressed about it, like they're technically not lying. They're like, hey, did you have sex? Like, no.
There's no way. Like, they're still lying though. It's an admission of truth.
Right, but in their head, they're like, yeah, I'm not lying. Some people are like that.
That's wild.
Some people are like that with like normal stuff.
Conniving little people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I came across this like there's a Showtime series of like couples therapy, and some of these people are like legitimately like messed up in the head. Like they will justify the worst things they do to somebody else, and like it's nothing. And then when someone else like attacks them, I want to say that's essentially what a narcissist is. But,
100%.
Like when someone like tries to bring the point up, like, no, this is not okay to do to somebody. They're like, well, whatever.
That's crazy.
It's like, no, bro, you don't.
So how many times in a week you think you've lied? Whether small lies, big lies. How many times in a week you think you've lied?
Not a lot.
Either to yourself or to other people.
Like, to myself, maybe, like, I'm not going to eat that piece of chocolate, and then I go eat it, maybe, but not like...
But is that you lying to yourself?
It's me disappointing myself, for sure, if
I
eat that piece of chocolate, but I really, to be honest, I don't lie.
No?
I really try not to. Like, I don't see a point in it.
I mean, yeah, I agree. At some points in time, I feel like you just gotta lie.
Are there instances where I probably should not have said what I said, or like maybe I didn't have to tell the whole truth, and maybe like save somebody's feelings, or maybe they need to know that? Maybe, but that's not who I am. Like I'll just say what's going on.
I would rather say the whole truth or not say anything.
It is hard not to like lie to my 5-year-old, and not like in a bad way, just like
a parental lie.
Yeah, but it's like usually like if he's being unreasonable, like I want to go to the moon, I don't want to go to bed. Like I don't want to be like, hey man, we'll build a rocket or something like that. Like you gotta be playful, but like we're not actually gonna build a rocket on the moon. I just need the kid to go to sleep because he's got school in the morning.
I don't think that's a lie though. I don't know.
He's 5. He thinks it's legit. That's the problem. I know it's not realistic.
Oh yeah, obviously.
But he's 5, so it's realistic to him. And when I don't fall, is it a similar thing of playing
along that Santa's real? Like if parents would play along that, like, oh, Santa Claus is real, and their kids believe that. Like, is it a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean you're lying to them. Eventually they're gonna find out. Yeah, he's 5.
Oh, some kids don't believe in Santa Claus.
Well, that's more the parents that are like, I paid for this. They're gonna know where it came from. Like, calm.
That's wild.
Calm.
Why do you need gratification for?
I know what's going on right now as an adult. I still get gifts labeled from Santa because my dad's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, he'll label stuff Santa.
That's funny.
I remember last time I got something from Dad. It's just a Santa. I'm like,
that's funny.
I'm like, you had them mailed here. I know where they came from. Because he'll ship the gifts in a big box ahead of time, and then he'll fly in for Christmas. So I'm like,
where is he?
He lives in Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
This one went to the state fair
for a Cuban to be.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Work was there.
It's way too cold for him.
He hates the cold now, and I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen?
You guys shovel your freaking driveway every.
Well, he has a dog, so he has to shovel like a path because the dog doesn't like the snow, and it's a little dog. So
he
has to shovel like a path.
He got a little dog. If you're gonna go to use the bathroom.
So, I don't know if he's trying to move soon. It'd be nice to have him closer, but yeah, that's what it is.
I remember you were saying like one break on work. You were talking about Christian Pulisic. And you say you're going to leave for the podcast. What was it?
Oh, yeah. You asked me if I thought he would... Well, the week before that, you asked me some wildness if I thought the U.S. would win a World Cup. And then you asked me if I thought Christian Pulisic would ever win Ballon d'Or.
Uh-huh.
So, the answer to both of those is yes. Okay. And I will explain. So... From what I can see, a World Cup winning team needs a nice, a solid balance of your, flair players and, your kind of, more intuitive, wild card players and, your, workhorses. Someone that just plays that position really well. They may not be on the best team, club team in the world. They may not be the best in the world at that position, but they play it really well. They do their job. Basically, you are a 100% solid center back, 100% solid winger. You do your job. All right. I think a mixture of that and people who can change the game is what you need to win a World Cup. And you have to have a coach that is willing to adjust that team with those type of players. So if you need more of an aggressive stance, or if you need a more solidified playing style, you're willing to rotate the team. I don't like when you bring 22 players to a tournament and you play the same 11, 12 guys. Sorry. I don't agree with that.
I mean, yeah.
Some positions, if someone's
because
solid,
for those players, compared, if you think I don't know, let's just assume Premier League. You're playing on Saturday, let's just assume you're in the Champions League and then all the other. You're playing on Saturday or Sunday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday you got a cup tie, or you have Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, and then you got to go back in.
Yeah.
In the World Cup, you play a game, 2-3 days later you have another game.
Yeah,
that's not enough recovery time for almost all of those players.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you need some kind of rotation. You need some kind of rest. But I think the rotation. I think that's why when Real Madrid three-peated is why, because they literally had 2 starting teams between the bench and who actually started games, and they did a lot of rotation in some of their positions.
I did see something on tangent.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a huge reason was their like fitness manager or whatever.
Yeah.
It was some Italian dude that like
they brought him back.
Super crazy. Oh, they brought him back?
They brought him back this season. Yeah, he's back there. He had him running with like the mass and the tank. And
Bro,
and
then like the season after he left, they suffered a lot of injuries. I was like, man, that's crazy. I didn't realize.
But yeah, so I think there's enough quality players that would represent the U.S. at this point that the next World Cup I think they could go far. If they continue on that, they could probably win a World Cup at some point.
Okay. In the next 20 years, in the next 5 World Cups.
I think they could put a legitimate team out there. Okay. I don't think anyone's ever going to say, like any broadcaster's going to be like, yeah, they're in the running. But I think once it starts, they could actually do something. But it has to be the right combination of all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you look at Italy when they won, in what was it, 06?
Yeah.
Bro, and the guy that won them the semifinal and the final, scored the winning penalty, no one knew who he was. But he was a fucking solid left back. Fabio Grosso.
Oh, yeah.
No one knew who he was. He played for like a middle table team when he went to that World Cup. And then after, I think he went to Inter.
Probably.
But bro, he was just a solid left back. And dude, everyone that year, everyone knew the attack of Italy. But dude, that's what you need. At
least what I'm saying now, like the winners of like major tournaments and teams like that, you have. It's just a solid squad, but you have like one player that can change the game on his own. Like obviously, Messi was that player for them. Mbappe was that player for them. I'm thinking, I was thinking in 2002, like for when Brazil won it, it was Ronaldo and Ronaldinho. They were like that player that can change it. If Ronaldinho didn't score that crazy free kick against, I think it was England. They would have got out in the semifinal.
Yeah.
So it was just, I think Pulisic has that potential to do that, but because I think probably Chelsea failed in a way.
They 100% did. In my opinion.
I don't know if they 100% did, because I know, like when he started with, Lampard, when he, like his first season there, I think he helped Pulisic to get accustomed to the lights are all on you now. His big money move, because he didn't start him every single game. He didn't begin starting him. He had to earn his way into the starting 11. So I think that helped him. Then when Tuchel came in, I think he played and it was probably his best season at Chelsea. After the goal against Real Madrid, he played really well in the UCL.
So I want to go back to that goal when you're done with that.
What a great goal, by the way. And then Potter came in. It was a whole disaster.
It was just such a mess, yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. It must have been something. Maybe he felt like the front office failed to believe in him or whatever. But I think the AC Milan move is good for him, because Tomori's doing well. It seems a great team, a great club for younger, promising players.
So, yeah, I think Chelsea failed him a lot. I think he earned his spot. I think he was more inconsistent because of the lack of push. He did have some injuries, but if you're not,
he's a very injury prone player.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. But I wonder if it was maybe there could be something to that if you're trying to earn your spot. Now I don't know what's going behind the scenes, but if you're trying to earn your spot back essentially, because there was a time where he was always he was starting for a bit. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't even a question.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to be on the field. If they're telling you need to work harder, you're going to work harder. Now, if you're already working pretty much as hard as you can, like, you're going to be more injury prone trying to push yourself even more. You're more susceptible. I wouldn't say injury prone. You're more susceptible. So he did get a fair bit of injuries. But what was it? What tournament that they played with the U.S.? He was playing the Gold Cup. He played well. And then
talking about this past one,
they got kicked out early? Yeah, they got booed early. But the group stage, he played well. And then with AC in the preseason tour, he played great.
Oh, he did? I didn't even see. I didn't see any highlights of him already.
Yeah, he was balling, assists and goals. So I'm like, clearly, he was ready to go at Chelsea this whole time. There's no way you just go into a tournament with your national team and then into a brand new team and hit the ground running like that.
Because I think, I don't know, like the way I saw him, I compare him a lot to Eden Hazard in a way. He plays the best when the ball is at his feet.
Yes.
Like when he's running at defenders and he is the one to make the decisions.
Yeah.
I feel like he dribbles. I don't know. I feel like he likes to dribble more than Eden in a way, and he likes to play out wide more.
Yeah, he doesn't have a problem playing anywhere up front, really, from what I can see.
Eden likes to play more centrally, like wide cutting in, but I feel like Pulisic likes to play out wide, likes to stay out wide a bit longer.
He has the confidence and skill where more often than not, he'll go at a player versus cutting the ball back and dropping it back.
Yeah.
Which a lot of players who you would think are like, yo, that's a really good attacking winger, a really good attacking midfielder. And then half the time when they get faced with like someone one-on-one, they step on the ball and like pass it back or, switch the play. He seems to be someone who's more having zero issue just going one-on-one with you. Yeah. Now, he's not going to beat everyone every time. Like, no one does, but...
when you do watch the games, like he gets like little fouls a lot.
Yeah.
Based on how he dribbles, because he likes to dribble at people, which probably also affects how like his body. And I don't know, just I've seemed to notice like he gets injured a lot with the goalpost. I think I can remember 2 separate occasions in the World Cup and with Chelsea. I think in the Champions League.
Was it the goalpost or did he get kicked?
No, it was he like would run
in the World Cup
either for a run. Like he's trying to get a run onto a cross or something, and he would run into the goalpost because he can't just stop. Because I think that's how he got injured. He injured his like groin or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Groin or thigh or
something. Bruised his balls.
But I don't know. For win a Ballon, he just seems so far away from that.
This is right now, yes, because of all we've seen is I think he's had one game for AC and like one actual game for AC like that mattered in Serie A, and then these past I think so.
Premier League's this weekend, right?
Premier League's this weekend. I think Serie A already started. So we're going off that and everything the past few months we've seen at Chelsea. But so I thought about this a long time ago, and this is probably gonna sound crazy, but I'll kind of explain it. So being a diehard Real Madrid fan, when you guys won the Champions League. You guys came up to us in the group stage. The first game of the
stage? No, it wasn't.
Oh, not the group stage. Sorry, it was the semifinals or the quarterfinals.
No, because we won against Real Madrid to get to. Because we played Porto in the quarterfinals. I think it was Real Madrid, and then.
So were we 16? Round of 16?
No, I don't know. Because we had a pretty easy draw until the Real Madrid and then Manchester City.
So either way, the first knockout game against Real Madrid, it ended 1-1. Benzema scored, Pulisic scored. I was watching that game, and what I saw was Real Madrid. Obviously, it was a little bit of a different team, but coming off the back of winning the Champions League.
Because you won, was that the three-peat?
We won the year prior. No, I don't think it was the three-peat. I think we missed out on one, and then we won another one. I can't remember right now. It's
Well,
running.
you know Liverpool won the year before that.
Before Chelsea?
Yeah.
So then...
Because they won during COVID.
Okay, so then we won Liverpool... I'd have to look it up.
I'd have to look that up. I can't remember. Anyways.
I can bring out the...
I mean, might as well.
Yeah, look it up. Let's look it up, James.
I can't... Because Liverpool beat Spurs to win... Yeah, it was Liverpool, because Liverpool beat Spurs to win the Champions League. And I remember watching that in Idaho.
I mean, it was deep in Idaho.
When they came back from Barcelona. You're still in Champions League, right?
I am.
Look at this keyboard.
It's wild, right? Champions League. Let's see.
Just look up results and I'm sure it'll just pop up like the winners every
Oh, final. Yeah, results. Final. No, final because we want to know who won.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right here. Just go on Wikipedia and look it up.
So, Inter just won.
Oh, Bayern Munich won, actually. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, see?
They beat PSG, yeah. Because Tuchel lost that year, yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
Okay, so Real Madrid.
You know, because you beat Liverpool in 2017, 2018. And it was Liverpool won. Then Bayern Munich won during COVID.
Okay, yeah. So
year.
these two, yeah. So we're a couple years off a win. So I remember watching that game.
I completely forgot that final even happened.
I closed it. Shit. All right. So I remember that game. I don't know how to. I don't know how to work Apple products.
What are you doing?
Anyways, so I remember watching that game, the 1-1.
Let me, because I do.
Yeah. You know how to type.
Where's the thing?
You got the mouse though.
The mouse.
Computing over here.
Yeah, you won what in 2018 against Liverpool?
No, not the final. I'm talking about Chelsea.
You're talking about the 1-1.
The 1-1 Chelsea Real Madrid. When I saw Pulisic playing that game, what I immediately thought, like after seeing how they had zero answer, they didn't know what to do with him because he scored, but they also couldn't. They didn't know what to do with him. He was attacking the shit out of them. I thought back to when, and you were. I don't know if you were watching soccer at this point because I just started, like really seriously watching soccer, but I thought back to the game of Sporting Lisbon and Manchester United. It was a preseason game, and that's the first time the world saw Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And Manchester United, who I think had just come off of a treble, had zero answer. Now, is Pulisic the same level as Cristiano Ronaldo? No.
Not even back then.
No.
Not even Ronaldo's at that level. Yeah, ever.
But the fact that a team that at the time had just won the Champions League a couple years before, and they're always in the running.
Oh yeah, top
win.
10 teams
to win.
Yeah, top 10 teams of Europe.
They had zero answer for this guy.
To be fair though, that defense that year was pretty trash.
Defense is always trash.
No,
always trash.
No.
Always.
No. Maybe now, but like back when freaking Sergio Ramos was leading y'all, no. That defense was
Sergio Ramos carried that team in defense.
Solid.
Sorry.
Sergio
100%. Ramos and Marcelo carried that team defensively.
100%.
Varane was only good.
He was only good like a season.
He was only good when Sergio Ramos was on the field. If Varane was on the field with another defender and he was supposed to be like in charge of the defense, madness ensues. Like he just couldn't keep it together. Carvajal does a lot of dumb stuff.
Does he?
He does a lot of dumb stuff.
Oof.
He
had to go and take Tony Rudiger from us, bro.
Yeah.
I'm still upset from that. Wish we kept him.
Yeah, be like that.
What is that?
3 guys went down. But so when I saw that, that's kind of where I'm like, I would like to see this guy. I would like to see Pulisic maybe put on some size so he could play a little bit more physical. Maybe keep him healthier longer if he's in like a better physical shape.
Yeah.
Not saying he's not in shape, but just like, I would like to see that type of player and see if he can improve his performances on the field. If he could string that, if he could improve himself personally to the point where he strings together strong performances with AC, maybe win a Champions League. Because don't forget, like they were in the final Inter.
They were in the semifinal. They were in the semifinal.
Semifinal.
Yeah, because it was AC Inter to go to the final.
AC. So they made the semifinal.
Yeah.
So he's not. That's the other crazy thing. Like he left Chelsea where he wasn't playing, and he went into a team that was contending last year for the final. Like, there's no way you suck that bad if that's who picked you up.
The thing is that he shows he is a very promising player. I don't want to say he does show a lot of promise, but I think he has the pitch. I feel like his skill set would be very useful in the Serie A. Because Serie A traditionally has been, at least in like modern times, has been a slower game.
Yeah.
Has been a slower game than the Premier League, where the Premier League is very Route 1. Mm-hmm. I personally see it.
Everybody's fast. Everybody's fast in the Premier.
Like
almost.
I think the Premier League is much more physical, like when I watch it at least, than the other leagues. Especially when you have like freaking Burnley. Not even but like the mid-table teams that are going to play 4-4-2 and just sit back all game. Yeah. Like, and they're going to give you like 4 or 5 good attacks the whole game, but they are defensively solid. Like, it's going to be so hard to break them down. That's what the one thing that does suck with the Premier League. And like when you watch like Manchester City, like they destroy people, they destroy these teams, but like when you watch them, they're so slow and methodical. And they like spread out the play so much that they can rip them apart.
But yeah, to answer your original question, yes for both. I think it's in the realm of possibilities. I think the U.S. national team would have to get their shit together as far as coaching. Because I think they have solid players available.
Yeah, definitely.
But they need to get their coaching shit together.
Who's the key for the USA players for the next 5 years?
Pulisic, for sure.
Really? I'm thinking Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams, yes. Their midfield's so... I don't think we have an issue anywhere in midfield. We have to be able to, A, defend at a high level, and B, score from people that are our strikers. Like, it's awesome if Pulisic gets a goal. Awesome. He's usually plays on the wing and then floats inside.
Yeah, I've seen.
I need your central striker to be fucking bagging goals.
Because he takes the more like assist supporting role when he plays for USA.
Yeah,
and like that's probably his best played position when he's supporting a striker. Like him and Giroud. I feel like him and like when he first started, him and like Batshuayi, like those types of players were very good together.
Yeah, they complemented each other very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they need to get the front sorted out. Balogun seems like could be legit, and he's committed to the U.S., so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I don't need anyone. I don't need these strikers from MLS anymore. Sorry.
It's just like, you had something about Messi. I remember now. You were saying something about Messi, and then you were going to bring it up on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, now because of what happened, dude, before he got there, and of course the addition of Busquets and Jordi Alba, like literally in the twilight of their careers. Like all three of them could have been like, hey, I'm retiring instead of going to Miami.
No one bats an eye.
No one bats. They're like, yeah, you've done a lot.
Yeah,
you've
earned it. You got every trophy you could.
But now they're here, and they took a team that was literally last place to like fighting at the top because.
Oh, they were last place?
They were terrible.
Let me see this.
Watch out, man. I didn't clear my browser history, dog.
Was it CF or FC? Oh, it is.
No, I found it.
I just want to see like their previous games. So, okay. I scroll.
They were terrible. They were losing a ton.
So, let's go from January. Yeah, they lost 3-0. Lost, tied. 1-2-0, 1-2-0, lost. Lost. So let's see. They played 22 games. Messi has been there. Wait, what? They're still in 15th place.
Is that the actual standings or is that the...
That is, look.
Oh, I heard somewhere they were at the top.
Maybe it's the Leagues Cup. I don't freaking know how
I don't know. I heard something on TV that they were towards the top, but I could be wrong. It might be that. It might be the League Cup that they're at the top of the group now.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that might have been it.
But that was 2022. But apparently they played 22 games. They won. This is probably their 5 wins.
Yeah.
Have been with Messi.
Yeah. So back to my point. Like when you
how do you play 22 games and win 5? That's wild. Yeah. But
so back to my point is that like you can't say that we have premier players here when literal players who are at the end of their career come here and just like dominate. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 things like
so like I can't. I don't know what the deal is. Like why we have to be number 1. we're just so off of it. There's so many other leagues. If you're playing this particular sport, you're playing soccer. Europe is the place to be.
100%. And I think it will almost always be that way.
Yeah. I have zero problem with saying someone, because there's been players that have gone from MLS to Europe and they do well. Alphonso Davies, perfect example.
Yeah.
But I think MLS should take a different approach. Instead of worrying about being like the best league or one of the top leagues in the world, be like, this is going to be the league where you grow players. Where if you have...
So just do an Eredivisie. Just do a Netherlands.
Maybe. Something like that.
Yeah. Ajax or
right. You're a player mill. If your club just produces, like... If the league, I mean, this is going to be a whole league.
Probably.
And because of how it's set up, I don't see why... if you change the structure a little bit for MLS, I don't see why someone who's about to age out of, say, like a Premier League club in the academy, like they're right on the cusp. Like you're just like maybe if you had another year or 2, you'd probably be in the first team, but you're turning 18, you're turning 19. Like we got to make space for someone else, or what? We got to cut you. Why can't we just send you to MLS? Get better, get real game time. And then see if you come back from there. What's his name from Leeds did that? Jack Harrison. Mm. Jack Harrison came and played for New York, balled out, got his legs under him, went back, signed for Leeds, and now he's
because I think one of the main things is like the money's not in MLS. Like, because like thinking about it, like teams like Ajax, they've had like countless times throughout their history, even in the last 20, 25 years, where they've produced talent and like famous talent,
and they've
like
also
most
won.
Recently, yeah, like they've won in their cup. They've like even went to like the UCL to like challenge.
They've
like,
had, they got, I think they got a couple wins. I mean, back in the 80s.
2019, mm-hmm. like when they just lost to like Spurs for Spurs to go to the final.
Yeah,
like, that crazy game.
Oh, everybody left. Yeah, because they schwacked Real Madrid.
They were so good. Like so many players in that team were so good, but you get a lot of money from that because obviously they're overhyped. They show promise. Some of them didn't even fulfill that promise. Like Donny Van de Beek freaking flopped.
Yeah.
What's his name? The midfielder, De Jong, kind of flopped. It's flopping now. De Ligt is doing all right.
De Ligt is solid. He's a physical defender. De Jong, his issue to me was that he went to Barca that was still dead set on starting Busquets when I think when De Jong got there, they should have been like, hey, you're going to start getting less game time because De Jong's here. And when you leave, he's going to be our main guy. But no one wants to, which I've heard is like a thing at Barca. They don't want to tell their star players stuff like that.
Yeah, the players that want him so much over the years.
You brought me in to do a job, and I can't do that job because you don't want to tell this guy that's at the end of his career that he needs to play less.
Yeah. So is that. I just don't think, like, the money is in this compared, even, like, to the Premier League, to the Italian League. There's so much money. I know in the Premier League, there's just so much money that, like, each club has that makes them produce at the highest level. Also, the market, like, Americans don't care about football. So it's just like, they'd rather watch NBA. Like, hell, hockey is probably more popular than the MLS. So
we have a weird sports structure here.
So it is what it is.
Our sports structure in the U.S. is based off going to school. It's based off going to college.
Probably, yeah, 100%.
Like NBA, NFL, whatever, hockey, like it's based off going to college.
Yeah.
The problem is the way soccer is, especially in Europe, ages you're in college, you should be starting for your professional team. 100%. Whatever level it is. But at that age, that's where you should be at. You should be fighting for first team position at whatever level you're at, but professionally. Like this is we've established this is you're at this level and you're gonna start fighting for it. But these kids you're at a college team where until the past couple of years, I can't make fucking money because it's against the rules. Like all I can do is study. Like I got to be a student first. Like if you seriously want to be a professional athlete, it kind of sucks.
Have time for school.
It kind of sucks, yeah. Now I've seen it firsthand where like they make it very easy on a student athlete to just be the athlete, but you're still showing up to school. It's still something on your agenda that you have to do. As opposed to somebody in Europe who's maybe in the academy, you might have a weekend job, but you're training 5-6 days a week. You got a game against another academy once a week. Like, it's serious at that point.
Yeah, and you have actual, like, trainers and stuff like that. Obviously, like, the people in MLS, like, in those colleges have trainers, but I feel like, I don't know, with no evidence or to back it up, but like the type of experience that is there in the academies, like in the Premier League, Italy, whatever.
It's different. Like there's it's not coincidence that like the top players for the US team, they have experience at a young age in Europe.
Yep.
Like it's not a coincidence. Like it's different.
Oh, 100%.
But for whatever reason, at least from what I've seen, they don't want to. Coaches and like trainers in the U.S. are like, we'll do it our way until it's right, instead of looking at who's doing it right, and hey, what can I take from that? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. And I've had coaches from overseas, and I've had coaches from here. Sometimes it's a really crazy difference.
I bet.
Doesn't make sense because it's the same sport, playing the same way. The same end goal. Like you want these kids you're coaching to get as far as they can in the sport, but just some people don't want to recognize that like their way isn't necessarily the best.
And and that's in everything.
And it's like cool. And then as a player, you can't be like, "Hey, coach, maybe we should do that." Like that rarely works out.
Oh yeah, never.
Like, "Hey, this is probably better." It's like, cool, man. You probably work better on the bench.
So I was watching this, like, I think I saw this on Instagram or something, and it was showing Messi for Inter Miami playing against Orlando City or whatever, and it showed the clip where like he pushed the player. Yeah. And then they showed a later clip where they like pulled him back on a tackle or something, like trying to challenge for the ball, and he got a yellow card. And then it was saying like someone saying like, oh, Messi has been like he's been liked / babied his entire career. Like they loved him at Barca, the media loved him at Barca, Argentina loved him, whatever. Like the fan base, he was just loved, and then like he doesn't react well to adversity because there's like clearly like when he went to PSG and the slightest bit of like adversity or stuff like that he reacts really negatively to.
I mean, it's possible. I also think there's a lot of like he's still messy and like you're gonna get fouled more. I think you're gonna get fouled more here because.
Do you think like the MLS is babying him?
I don't think they're babying him, but I think there's more players that just can't get close to him or actually tackle him here in MLS versus like somewhere in Europe. So he's gonna get fouled more. I just think it's gonna happen. You're gonna get fouled more because the guy that's trying to defend against you can't keep up with you. So he's gonna put in a late tackle. He's gonna clip your heels because he knows you're gonna get away from him. I think it's just gonna happen. I don't think he's getting babied. Now was he?
I think he is getting babied by
probably
MLS.
Was he protected a lot more at teams like Barca? Yeah, because we need you to play every game.
No, I'm not saying like I'm saying like maybe like La Liga, like La Liga. Like I don't know. And then I personally feel like the MLS is definitely like trying to protect him because one, you didn't hear like this decree that they're changing every player. No, I don't. But how like they're requiring all the stadiums to change to natural grass rather than artificial.
Well, they should have done that.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely better for the players. But like, it was like happening now. I think, or this might have been a while ago. But like, I read on that, and then obviously Messi is their most famous prospect in the whole of the MLS.
Yeah, I mean,
you've seen the turnout for these games are absolutely insane.
Ticket prices. I mean, they went from like $40 to $500 overnight.
And the MLS invested so much. Apparently, like part of their deals.
He's got his contract is crazy. Like
like obviously people want to see him play.
Yeah.
Like on the field, so I feel like obviously they're going to protect him. But I always felt like he's been more of like he's always used to being that golden child. So like when he's not that golden child, he does not react very well to.
Yeah, when he's not the star of the show. Yeah.
Like, I mean, at PSG, like when he underperformed, I don't know, whatever happened at PSG. PSG is a whole nightmare.
But it was no secret because at Barca there was so many players they brought in on the attacking side that were pushed into a position that they didn't play before because Messi wanted to play somewhere else. Like Messi wanted to play in that spot, and it's like, cool, you brought me in for this. Like, I'm not a winger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they were still effective, but like that's not. Like, why does he get to pick where he goes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he arguably one of the greatest players in the world? Yeah, but there's also, if you make a list of 10, the top best players in the world, some of those have played with Messi. So why do they not get to pick where they play on the field?
Yeah.
Versus him.
Compared to Ronaldo, where they did him so dirty. CR7.
Yeah, they did. Oh boy. Is he? You think you see him anywhere after Saudi League?
I don't know, like, in his way, like, after what happened at, like, Man U, like, I don't know the full details, but, like, for the little bits I do know, like, I know he had a child that died, and then, his first time at Man U, from reading, like, accounts and stories from, like, Alex Ferguson or whatever, like, there was an account that, like, Cristiano was there with his dad, and he was like, oh, I need to see my family. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Alex Ferguson's like, yeah, obviously, go ahead. Like, family is much more important than anything you do here.
His dad died.
Yeah,
his dad died, and he was dying, and, like, they knew this was the end. Like, he's like, I need to go. And they were like, yeah, go.
Yeah, and then, but, like, I don't know, whatever the front office was at, like, Man U the second time when he had a child that died, like, obviously, no matter who you are in the world, that's going to affect you. Like, you're not going to be performing at your best because... But
it was twin. Did you watch? He talked about it in the interview with
Piers Morgan. No, I didn't see it.
So he had the twins. One died. Mm-hmm. The other twin that lived got sick, and I think that's what it was. He was like, "I need to go. My kid's sick. My newborn is sick," and they were like, either didn't want to let him go, or he was already there, and they were making a fuss about him not coming back to preseason or something like that. extenuating circumstances. Sorry, dude. Have some fucking...
Like, have a heart.
Yeah.
At that point. It's just like...
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it's bad enough you were having 2 kids and one of them didn't make it. And then now one of those 2 kids is really sick.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, what
like,
are you doing?
I'm not a father, so I have no idea what that could be, but I imagine that must be absolutely terrible. Then, like, your workplace is, like, making a big problem about that. I think it's very, very rough.
Your job, any job, but especially something like that, where it's like, you're playing a sport professionally. Like, in the grand scheme of the world, it does not matter.
Like, I feel like family is above anything else you do. Like, no job, no whatever interest is above your family.
Their response should have been, well, anything you need, let us know. Just tell us when you get back. Yeah. That's it. Do not contact this person. Do not reach out. Do not give them a fucking timetable when they need to be back. Go sort out your family. Go be there for your family. That's it.
Exactly.
Let us know when you get back. And we'll go from there.
So, like, I felt like he, like, felt betrayed by that. And then the media, how, like, Manchester United made him seem like the problem there. But when you see his highlights this first season, he provided he was a very good player for them. It was just his teammates around him just didn't perform some of those games. Bruno Fernandes, I think, is an absolute fraud.
You think so?
I think he's
hot take, dog.
Is it a hot take?
Hot take.
That first year, dude, I was like, what are you doing? Like, he's just such... And, like, the thing's always been like that with Portugal. Like, they've had very good players, like, throughout their whole years since 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, 2018, 2022, they had a very good, like, this past World Cup, they had a very good...
I mean, they won the Euro
squad.
somewhere in between there.
They won in 2016.
There you go.
So, when I felt like they scraped through that Euro.
They did.
Like, it's just whatever Portugal national team is doing, like, they just can't cohesively come together. There's that one where Portugal won a game, but, like, their goalkeeper is just making mistake after mistake. Boneheaded mistakes this past World Cup. Now I'm just screaming at this guy. Like, haven't played the sport in an organized way at all, but, like, I know that's not what you do.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? So it's just like, that's wild. Speaking of what are you doing, have you been watching the Women's World Cup?
God damn. Why does everyone come on here and bring up the Women's World Cup?
Right.
I watched some highlights. I did.
Okay.
There was one point I did turn on a live game, and I was bored, so I shut it off. Not because they were women. I've done that plenty of times with men's soccer. It has nothing to do with them being women.
I would.
If I turn on a soccer game and it's boring, I turn it off. Sorry. I love soccer, but I'm not going to sit there.
If I'm watching a 0-0 with freaking Nottingham Forest and
I'm not doing it.
I'm not watching that.
I'm not doing it. I did watch some highlights. The English team's balling.
Didn't they get knocked out?
No, I think they won that penalty shootout. The U.S.
I know
got
Lauren
knocked out.
James did some absolute wild thing. She stepped on the back of some player.
She dropped in 3 bangers in one game. One of them got called for offsides or something, but she was
no, but like she stepped on the back of and then she got a red card. I think they got eliminated that game though.
I thought they won that game. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure. I think they won on penalties.
Let's look it up. Dang it, bro.
It's just, what'd you do? You shut the whole thing on.
Did I?
Yeah, my guy.
Right here, put the password
in. Let's go, Women's World Cup.
Here, type in Women's World Cup. I just want to, like, the reason why I brought it up, I was just like, I remember we were talking about it, and it was just like...
Yeah, they're still in. They play Colombia tomorrow.
Oh, look at that. Oh, knockout stage.
Yeah, they won that game.
Oh, okay. They're in the
they won. They beat Nigeria on pens.
Oh, okay. So they did. Oh, okay.
Yeah. She stepped on the girl's back. She did.
So is Sweden that girl, Lehman or whatever?
Yeah, I think she.
Because I saw a clip, and it was like she was saying like, will women's football ever be like respected or like in some way? And she was like, no. It's absolutely no shit.
I mean, in what way? I mean, I respect them as professional athletes. Like, I don't know anyone that... I've never heard someone say they're not professional athletes just because they're women.
Yeah, no, I forget in what context, but I think it was like talking about the pay gap or whatever. And she's like, no, I think there's just not enough money in the sport, like in there. But like reason why like there is such boneheaded mistakes happening here, which no matter what gender you are, like if you're a professional player in that sport, you should not be making these mistakes. I saw an own goal happen where like not even it was like with Spain. And it was...
she passed it back from
they
that
passed it to the keeper, and the keeper didn't control it, and it went past it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what are you doing? And then there was one where it was an attack where like they kicked it to the keeper. Ball's right here. The keeper goes like this, which is fundamentally wrong mistake. You don't catch a ball like not in front of you at all. Goes to the hands in the goal. And it's just this is just so bad.
As a professional athlete, you shouldn't be making that mistake. Either way, whether
Period.
Men or women.
Female, male, doesn't matter.
I think it might look worse when it's women because compared to the men's game, anything that's happening is happening a little bit slower. So I think like a poor back pass looks worse because the pass is going to be slower than if, a men's player passed it backwards. There's going to be a little bit more speed
an own goal.
But either way, it's bad. You should be
own
as
goal
a
from a
professional.
back pass is inexcusable. I don't care.
I just think it looks worse. So then, like, people might be like...
There's already scrutiny on the sport.
Yeah.
So that just
makes it look worse. But I don't think it's because they suck. Because everybody does that.
Lack of awareness from both parts. It's just like, what are
you doing? You shouldn't be... Now, what I don't like from the Women's World Cup is this shit when they do the VAR. And then... they do the VAR review. And then the ref comes out and pulls, like, a American football thing. And they have a intercom. They have a mic. And it blasts it to the whole stadium. This decision they made. Yeah. Like they
do that in the NBA.
They do that like football.
Yeah, but they do it in the NBA as well. Like when they review a play, and then like the referees explain briefly.
Oh yeah, because they have
the decision was made.
Yeah, they have a review like the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, like something like you can call like the coaches can call like a challenge on the play, and then like they'll say so upon review. Player, yada, 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 considered foul, not a foul, this person's ball. So, like, that, I'm alright. It is kind of weird, because, I don't know. It is kind of weird, but it's nice to, for the referees to explain why or why not they called this.
I can figure that out. I watch the sport. I know what the hand signals mean. And then if they shoot a penalty in the next 30 seconds, then I know that's what the ref said. Okay, but, so, have you been watching?
No.
Whack.
No.
Whack. You don't support.
No.
Support the ladies.
I can't. I after seeing like all these highlights, I was like, dude, I can't.
I watched the highlights, like the compressed highlights. But yeah, some of them, dude. Lauren James is a beast.
Oh yeah. No, there's some absolute bangers, but the percentages of mistakes and stuff. I feel like
you can't watch it. There's too many.
It's just inexcusable for a professional player. I don't care what sport or what gender you are. It's just inexcusable. Like, for example, in baseball, like, there's no excuse whether you play baseball or softball. For, like, if you're fielding the ball, you're taught to kneel on one knee, like, you in front, if the ball's running, I kneel on one knee with the glove right behind it. A hand as soon as the glove, like, the ball hits your glove to, like, trap it. Mm-hmm. If it goes under you and past you, that's inexcusable. Like you did something fundamentally wrong.
The basics were not
absolute fundamental basics.
That makes sense.
So like you can't blame anyone because it's just you and the ball essentially. Like maybe the ball did a weird bounce. Like that's probably okay. Like if it's there and it bounces above you or whatever, but it just simply goes under you, just rolls by you. That's inexcusable. And I feel like a failed back pass.
So you're just so frustrated you can't watch.
Yeah, 100%.
That's fair.
100%.
That's fair. I watch highlights to relax, not to get pissed off.
Movie with the Eotech mounted backwards is absolutely wild.
Oh yeah, you need to watch that.
What movie?
I got it back here. Hold on.
Yeah, DVD, bro. It's 2023.
I got DVD, dog. I'm a grown man.
Well, then don't we?
I got VHS somewhere though.
That's wild. Wait. I haven't worn my glasses entire. Is that like PS3 game? Well, yeah, my eyes started to hurt. This man got PS2 games, bro. My man living in throwback. What games you got there? What PS2 games?
Hey, hold on. I'm trying to find the frick. There it goes. Tears of the Sun.
Oh Lord.
Bruce Willis has his.
Let me see this.
I think it's an aim point. I don't even think it's an EOTech, but it's on backwards in Georgia, if not the entire time. Yeah, you can kind of.
It's not even Blu-ray, bro. Oh my god.
No, this is DVD. God. This is before that, bro. You can kind of see it in the picture on the front. It's 100% backwards.
Where is it even mounted?
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like it's just floating in midair.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Absolutely wild. Then that fireball is absolutely crazy. What PS2 games you got there? Fuck this.
Bro, nothing crazy, bro. I got a bunch of FIFAs.
What FIFA? Whip out a FIFA. Whip out a FIFA. Let me see the cover on these.
You want to see the old school cover?
Yeah, let me see these. Let me see these players on these covers. Rooney
Look
on
at
it.
This fucking Landon Donovan. It's 2003.
That is wild. FIFA soccer. Was that what it's called back in the day?
Yeah, FIFA soccer. No, the GOAT of all covers.
That was a fire cover.
The GOAT of all covers.
That was such a good cover.
When you turn this one on, it was like a little mini thing. Like it was a little intro video with all three of them. Like
That's
it was
pretty
nasty.
fire.
It was
That's pretty sick. This must be the USA edition, the US edition, because there's no way.
I mean, I live
Europe
here, so
yeah.
Europe
probably had like Rooney or something on the front.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch.
Yeah,
I've recently found out.
Is that the newest one you have? 04?
This is the oldest one.
No, the newest one.
The newest
What's
one?
the newest one you have there? What's the newest FIFA you got there?
PS3.
Like FIFA 10 or something? You got like FIFA 09?
No, I got 15.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't
15.
know if I got any. No, I got 18.
Yeah, fuck 18.
PS4.
You don't got like 09, 011, FIFA 11 or whatever?
No, I went through
the golden days?
No, to be honest, I didn't really game when I was in college.
No. Too busy parties, too busy throwing these wild parties.
Towards the end, I bought a PS3, like a refurbished one, and then I started
when did
playing.
PS4 come out? Was PS4 out when you in college?
Probably, maybe.
Okay.
No, PS3. No,
I was not in college, right?
I was not in college when PS4 came out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Just put PS4 release date.
It's alright. It's fine. 2013.
2013. Yeah, I probably just left college.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Shout out to the PS4, bro. It's still running. The PS3 still runs. It's upstairs.
Really? You still use the PS3? That's
like watch Blu-rays or something like that in bed.
The PS4 is Blu-ray.
No, but a PS4 is in the living room. PS3 is upstairs.
Oh, so you just watch? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you need to watch a movie or something like that, because graphics are ass, so compared to what we're used to now.
For real. That PS4 still works. When did you get your PS4?
Years ago. Years and years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That thing probably the whole jet.
That thing's probably like 10 years ago.
I think it's probably a jet engine too.
2013. Oh no, so maybe it's probably about. I might have gotten it in like 2014, 2015. So it's pretty old.
That's wild.
I essentially got. It's not.
You need an ice pack to come.
No, it's not that bad. I got it for free, essentially.
Oh, for real?
So what I used to do when I used to buy cell phones, I would just go to Best Buy. And if you bought a cell phone, what they used to do is like, we'll pay off something.
Yeah.
Or you can just get gift cards.
Oh yeah. Okay.
For whatever amount, for the same amount.
Yeah.
Gift cards would always come out to like 3 something, right?
Yeah.
So I would just hold on to the gift cards until Black Friday. Then roll in and just buy a super cheap system and some games for essentially free. So that's pretty much how I always got my systems. That's my little life hack, but they stopped doing that at Best Buy, so womp.
You got them.
But yeah.
Well, what movies do you have there? Now I'm interested in these movies. Yeah.
I don't buy movies like that.
Because in our house, my dad has like a massive wall of just like old DVD movies, and you can see like old school movies.
That's
like,
how my dad is.
Early 2000s.
That's how my dad is, and then my uncle is like that with vinyl.
Oh really?
My brother has a ton of movies. I stopped, with the streaming. I stopped buying movies.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like it didn't make sense.
You remember Blockbuster?
I have some Blockbuster stuff here.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah,
never
because
returned?
when they close Blockbuster, when they start closing the Blockbusters, you could go in and buy the DVDs and Blu-rays
like mega cheap, probably
for like $1, $2. Yeah, so I have a ton of them. Like I have a bunch. I went in one day because there wasn't one far from campus.
Blockbusters were goated. I remember you'd be like, "It's Friday night. I get to pick like a movie. I get like the popcorn bucket they had, and it was like there was like plastic wrap in on the inside, and it'll pop up. Oh, too good.
We used to go. It was called Hollywood Video, but it was the same thing, and you can rent consoles.
You were whole consoles,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, you could rent a whole console and rent some games. I mean, it was what it was.
Like for them though, because they easily can get broken.
Yeah, if they get broken, then you're assed out.
Yeah,
but I mean, I guess it was worth it to them.
I guess so. Yeah, because like in the block, you could rent like games or movies. So like I'd like always like juggle if I wanted to rent a game or movie.
Yeah, I mean, and I think not so many people like now. Everybody has some kind of, even if they don't game that much, they have some kind of gaming system, some kind of console, and they use it for like streaming or like watching movies, whatever. But they have a gaming console. It's just you get more with the system. You can do more with the system.
Oh yeah, 100%. But back then it used to be just games.
Right. So not everybody had one.
Yeah.
Like we'd go to your boy's house that had the system.
Like the OG PS1, PS2s were just games, or like the OG Xbox. The 360 and the PS3s were now like, oh, you have Blu-ray.
PS2 too. PS2 was just games.
Yeah. And then the PS3 and 360 were just like, they started to do like, oh, you can do more entertainment stuff with it. They sold more with that. They had Kinect. That was wild. You didn't really use Xbox.
No. I was never an Xbox fan. Anytime,
that's crazy.
The controllers were always whack to me.
Really?
I felt like they were not ever ergonomic. And then every time I went to like a buddy's house to like play Xbox, there was always something wrong with it.
Really?
Like it was just
that's wild.
I'm like, dude, this is stupid. My PlayStation always works.
Mine wasn't like that. I did have the Red Rings of Death a couple of times. That was a rip. That was an L. But like for me, the only good PlayStation controller is the PS5 controller. That one feels a lot better.
I haven't really played PS5.
PS5,
so I haven't.
I freaking love. I love the PS5.
Almost bought one.
You gotta get one, bro.
Hogwarts came out.
That game's fire. That game's
Sav's a huge, crap back here. She's a huge Harry Potter fan. So
has she played it yet?
No, but she was just like, so how do we play this game? And I was like, well, it's only on PS5.
Really, it's not on PS4?
No. So she was like, so how much is a PS5? And I was like,
really
I can make it happen if you want, but
you really try to know.
But then it was just single. It was single.
PS5.
It was single player. So I was like,
yeah, it is single player.
We play games together. Like usually, if we play games, we play games together.
Oh really?
Yeah,
you could watch her play. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is. Never mind. You'll get that joke in like 10 years.
Stop doing it. Stop doing it. I feel out of the loop.
You're so out of the loop.
It is what it happens.
It's not. It happens. Most of us when we're like 13, but
that 13?
You're out of the loop at 13. Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
What do you mean out of what?
Like you said, you don't know what's going on.
So people out here doing it at 13.
But I'm saying probably, but
that's
I'm saying people like saying stuff and it going over your head at 13. Yeah, for sure.
I was about to say people.
But probably
first time at 13.
Probably yes. Probably
like 16 in high school, I get it. Maybe like as a freshman, like 16 to like 18, I get it. If it's like 16 or 17, like 13, you're in middle school, my guy. Y'all some horn dogs.
Not y'all, bro. It wasn't me.
Y'all some horn dogs. Y'all was wild out there.
Fat. And not very good looking. Now I'm just not very good looking. I'm just in a little bit in shape. But yeah, it's. I knew of people that were doing their thing, but I was like, that's
wild.
It was wild.
That's wild. Did you know you went? Because you went to St. Lucius, right?
Yes.
High school? Did you know like girls that like were pregnant in high school?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
That's wild.
I don't know if that was just a St. Lucius thing, but I mean, I definitely.
I think I knew of one girl, but like I was never in that crowd. I was always like in like the I only knew the people in like the higher, like college level classes.
Yeah.
And all the idiots I know.
For obvious reasons, I think they like kind of shifted their classes, their class schedule to be like, you're just gonna take regular classes, so you can just graduate, and then because like you're not gonna be able to do both. Like once this kid's here, you're not gonna be able to be in class. Like it's not.
Yeah. I think one of them just stopped going to school.
I vividly remember. I don't think it was my senior. It wasn't my senior year, but I vividly remember some girl like full on huge belly walking around high school. And I was like, that's crazy.
There's them decisions, my guy. Mm-hmm. Well, you trying to wrap it up?
Yeah. It's we got some. We're gonna be here forever if we go on every topic.
Yeah, really would.
But
I'll leave for next time.
Yeah. Do you have any closing statements, closing remarks?
No.
Don't grab the mic and pitch yourself to women, please, like Sam did. But yeah, whatever you want to say.
Ronaldo's my GOAT. Messi sucks. That's it. I'll die on that hill.
Okay. I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
Never liked Messi. I never liked him. I always thought Ronaldo was
It's not time to just slander somebody, but
Messi sucks. Inter Miami sucks. It is what it is.
So is Chelsea winning anytime soon?
Probably not.
No,
you saw what's his name? Christopher Nkunku? That's a wild name.
Yeah, man, I'm still dealing with the fact that my team's not going to have their goalkeeper all year. So
got him. He's injured for 4 months now, so I feel that pain.
It is what it is.
We got Tyler Adams now, so it's alright.
No,
What you mean
I didn't send it to you. Apparently the deal fell through.
Bro.
But look it up real quick, because I just saw it on IG in passing. Please look it up.
He's a decent.
He's a solid midfielder.
What's it saying? Deal. Bro, Chelsea can't do nothing right, man. Well, another year back at night.
You know,
that mid-table team.
Hey, there's always Europa. Oh, never mind. All right.
Don't worry, you'll be here next season. Freaking Courtois comes back.